that stretch is just about to break.
And it's not just the clients. This is a double whammy. You guys are getting hit by inflation as well. It's really increasing your costs and sort of limiting the value of the donation dollar. Describe how tough it is for you to stretch that donation dollar in an inflationary environment like this compared to previous years.
Yeah, so year over year, you're raising a little bit more every year. And when you look at the philanthropy reports across philanthropy in the U.S., those numbers are still going up, but they're just not going up matching inflation. So now that we're in our second year with inflation setting in, that set in last year in 2021, even though there's more fundraising happening between 2020 and 2021, and likely there'll be a jump between 2021 and 2022, it's not keeping up with pace with inflation. So if you think about, your local food bank, your local nonprofit, we have to raise all of those dollars every single year. And so with inflation, costs are up, but the donations are up only, slightly.
Now, flash forward to 2023. Carly just read a story about concern about recession. I would argue we're already in one, but the overall concern is that in 2023, especially in the first half of the year, the recession could become severe. Are you worried that with all that you just said as a factor, that people are going to stop donating to you because of the recession, because maybe they start losing jobs or they start having real significant financial issues that are preventing them from contributing to you?
Yeah, so inflation does impact donations when it comes to, the middle class, folks with lower income. Inflation isn't going to hit those higher net worth individuals who donate the big dollars to philanthropy, but recession does tend to impact high net worth individuals, and high net worth individuals give the majority of dollars. Even though people with low income give the highest percentage of their income to charity, people with high income are giving those high dollar gifts. So philanthropy across the country is nervous about a recession. We've gone through recession before, and so we have a playbook. We went through that in 2008, and so for the most part, professionals in the philanthropy field are gearing up for this. And like you said, we're likely already in a recession, and so we've been planning for this for a couple of years. And we did get hit with an economic, impact in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And so we're using some of that playbook as well.
Ashley Dumm, I know I'm on a board of a charity and was at their gala a couple weeks ago, and the overall consensus was the need this year was greater than they'd ever seen before. The worry, like you said, is that the money keeps up. Fingers crossed that it does for you, for charities across our great country, because you're doing the work. You're doing God's work, and we appreciate it. Ashley Dumm, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
The border crisis completely out of control. More than 1,500 migrants crossing into El Paso, Texas last night, as officials see a surge in crossers like never before.
That's right. Tom Holman is here to talk about the situation unraveling before our very eyes. Next.
I don't own a single stock or bond. I know I'm Mr. Amtrak. I know I'm called Middle-Class Joe.
Lunch pail Joe, middle-class Joe. The truth of his lifestyle is the opposite.
The Biden family amassed a fortune.
As in comedy, with corruption, timing is everything.
There's multitudes of evidence of criminal behavior by Hunter.
Anytime Hunter had a business deal to do, Joe was there.
The FBI, the intelligence agencies, and the American news media.
They simply decided we don't want the American people to know about it.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source.
The Bidens got some $31 million from Chinese businessmen.
Hunter Biden and Jim Biden had defrauded me.
CEFC was dismantled. The Biden family still made millions.
Within hours of our story going live, Twitter shut us down.
You have to fight the cancer of corruption.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my original My Slippers are back in stock. Last Christmas, you made them the #1 selling MyPillow product, and now I've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. And with your promo code, you still save $90 a pair. What makes my slippers different is my exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere. You'll absolutely love my slippers, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gifts ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen now. Use your promo code to save $90 on my original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
Spills, splashes, boilovers, and burns. Your stove is a mess, and all that soaking, scrubbing, and scraping are keeping you in distress. Hi, Lou Caputo here with Stove Guard, the #1 top quality stovetop protector and a must-have in every kitchen. These messes are no match for the Stove Guard. Cheese and macaroni, thick red staining sauce, even this sticky melted candy. They just rinse right off in seconds, and your stove stays spotless and clean, so you can clean less and live more.
I love to cook, but I absolutely hate to clean. With Stove Guard, I rinse it off, and then I'm back to spending time with my family.
Ordering your own Stove Guard Premium is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just locate your model number, type it into our easy-to-use website, and voila! Order today, and we'll ship it to you free. That's right, free shipping. And we'll also send you the Stove Gap Guard free. Just pay a separate processing fee. Scan the QR code on your screen, or go to stoveguard.com today.
BlendJet's holiday sale is on now. Save big on the #1 gift this holiday season. The BlendJet 2 portable blender gives you ice-crushing, big blender power on the go. Throw in your favorite ingredients and blend up a delicious smoothie anytime, anywhere. BlendJet 2 even cleans itself. Just add water, a drop of soap, and blend. Recharge quickly with any USB port. Order now from blendjet.com and get our best deal ever.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent urgent need to urinate day and night? I have good news. Presenting the UroLift system, an outpatient treatment that simply reopens the channel to increase flow with no cutting. Yes.
Most side effects are mild to moderate. Serious bleeding and infection events are rare. Visit urolift.com.
Ask your urologist about UroLift or call 800-752-1100 today.
Your goal? To be your best self. Introducing the all-new Power Boost Pro Plus Hot and Cold Massager from Sharper Image. A patented hot and cold node changes temperature instantly for muscle recovery. Plus 5 other nodes and a whisper quiet motor that ensures you achieve your best at everything you do. Relief now, wellness always. The all-new Power Boost Pro Plus Hot and Cold Massager from Sharper Image.
These bills are crazy.
She has no idea she's sitting on a gold mine.
Well, she doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, she can sell all or part of it to Coventry for cash, even a term policy.
Even a term policy?
Even a term policy!
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today at 800-496-9200 or visit coventrydirect.com.
A catastrophe. That's what lawmakers are calling the situation at the southern border as migrants line up for miles after entering the U.S. illegally.
Yeah, Marianne Rafferty joins us live with more. Marianne.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. The video is shocking. Long lines of migrants waiting at the southern border of Texas. More than 1,000 migrants believed to have crossed in this group alone, making it one of the largest mass crossings this year. Fox's Bill Malugin saying some migrants are being caught and bussed back across to Mexico, only to then turn around and come back trying to cross again. So far this year, there have been nearly 2.4 million encounters, setting records and straining the resources of states left to deal with the influx. And with Title 42 set to expire in just 11 days on December 21st, border states are bracing for massive numbers of migrants. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon stressing how bad it really is.
It's never been worse than it is right now. We have 300,000 border crossings every month when you consider the known gotaways and the folks that have been processed. So it's not a crisis anymore. It's a catastrophe.
And in Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey has gotten creative, turning shipping containers into a makeshift border wall. Work crews stacked hundreds of them, topped by razor wire, along a remote part of Arizona's border. Governor Ducey set to hand off to newly elected Governor Katie Hobbs, who says she'll consider all options but hasn't made any decisions about those containers. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott, well, he's also taken matters into his own hands, deploying the Texas National Guard and state troopers to catch and jail illegal migrants. Back to you guys.
Marion Rafferty, thank you. With that, let us bring in Tom Holman, Fox News contributor and retired acting ICE director. Tom, CBP sources say there have been nearly 500,000 encounters at the southern border so far this fiscal year, outpacing the past 2 years. And keep in mind, fiscal year literally just started in October. It's not like a normal, like January 1 fiscal year. This started in October. Look at those numbers on your screen. Setting records left and right. Tom, how many more records can our immigration system set before it literally completely collapses?
Well, look, the first year had 1.7 million. We were talking about how that was an historic high. Never seen numbers like this in the history of the nation. Then you got the 2.4 million the following year. We beat it by a million. Another historic record, and this year we're going to break another record because this administration is not doing a single thing to slow the flow. And people asked me just yesterday, why are the numbers increasing right now? They thought Title 42, and that goes away in a few days, and numbers will explode. Well, they will. The reason they're increasing now is because you got people up on Capitol Hill talking about amnesty. We got the biggest, the most historic illegal immigration crisis in history of this nation on our southern border, and you got senators and congressmen talking about amnesty. Haven't they seen over the last 3 decades, every time you talk about amnesty and DACA, that brings more. When President Obama created DACA, what happened after he did that? The next decade, you have hundreds of thousands of children crossing that border or family groups crossing that border, hoping to be the next DACA recipient. Yesterday's UAC, yesterday's family groups are tomorrow's DACA. They got to stop talking about rewarding illegal behavior, or they're never going to stop this.
Yeah, and then you have this group of 1,000 illegal immigrants that crossed all at once, which is one of the largest mass crossings so far this year. DHS, though, says that they have a plan for when Title 42 goes away. The problem is that it's really vague. This is what they say. They say it includes an increase of resources and manpower, as well as a greater use of alternative authorities, such as expedited removal and punishment for illegal crossings. Can you parse through that and tell us what that means, what they might mean by that?
Well, they say more resources, which means they're going to spend billions of more dollars on the border. They don't need to spend another dime on the border. All they got to do is reinstitute the Trump policies that worked. This is a policy issue. The Trump administration proved that. By implementing a few common sense policies, they can push these numbers down. So, for instance, everybody's panicking over this Title 42. Well, if the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, really wants those border numbers to go down, to reinstitute the Remain in Mexico program, which was a game changer in the Trump administration. The data clearly shows that. But by sending more resources down there, here's what they're going to do. They're going to process quicker, and they're going to release quicker. Why? Because they don't want overcrowding. Because if there's overcrowding, then they got to admit there's a crisis. They spend all their efforts trying to control the crisis. You know, let's control the optics of this crisis rather than the crisis itself. More resources just to process quicker is not going to fix this problem. You have the policies of the Trump administration. Turn them on, and you can secure the border in a matter of 60 days.
You've said it repeatedly on this very program. This administration is all about the optics. And to your point, it's just another example of that. There's also this, Tom. Just this weekend, a Guatemalan citizen convicted of aggravated child molestation in 2013 was arrested at the border. Last year saw nearly 2,000 more non-citizen arrests than the year before, the most arrests since back in 2016. Look, for every convicted felon that we catch, Tom, how many more go uncaught and make their way into our communities?
They're catching maybe 10%. Look, over the last 3 decades, if you look at who Border Patrol arrests, by an average 20 to 22% over the last decade of everybody Border Patrol arrests has a prior criminal history. They arrested over 20,000 convicted criminals last year, and over 100 of them were convicted of homicide, of murder. So, you know, not every person that crosses that border is a criminal. But many of them are drug dealers, they're carrying fentanyl, they're child molesters, they're criminals, they're gang members. The numbers prove it. President Trump wasn't wrong when he says a lot of criminals cross this border, a lot of bad people, because they do. Not all of them, but many are, and if we, under President Trump, when you secure the border, you save lives. Why do you think such large groups are coming across El Paso? Because the criminal cartels in Mexico will send these 1,000 people in this one area. Why? Because Border Patrol's going to get tied up responding to that crisis. Right. That's when they move the fentanyl and the gang members to the other parts of the border, because they tie the Border Patrol up with these big groups.
Tom, Joe Manchin just said that DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas could be very effective and actually wants to be, but his hands are tied by the Biden administration policies. Is that how you see it?
No, I don't see. Look, he's a Secretary of Homeland Security. He knows this border is a national security issue. They've arrested over 160 known and suspected terrorists trying to sneak in this country. He knows what a huge national security issue this is. So he should stand up, have a backbone, and tell the White House, I cannot support this open borders agenda because it's putting this country at great risk of a national security incident. He needs to stand up and do his job. And if the White House don't let him, then resign. Resign and protest, because you cannot keep supporting an open borders, which is endangering this country.
You'd think all sheriffs at the border would be in lockstep with your line of thinking, trying to protect their people, but it turns out there's one in Arizona, Santa Cruz County, Arizona, who's threatening to punish anyone who's helping build a makeshift border wall for Governor Doug Ducey using those large shipping containers. Take a listen to this.
The area where they're placing the containers, it is entirely on federal land, on national forest land. It's not state land, it's not private land, and the federal government has said this is illegal activity. So just the same way, if I saw somebody doing an assault or a homicide or a vehicle theft on public land within my county, I would charge that person with a crime.
Tom, how can a sheriff put politics over his own public safety of his people like this?
Well, one thing he failed to mention, that border barrier isn't even in his county. He hasn't got jurisdiction where that border barrier is being built, number one. And number two, he ought to try being a sheriff, a law enforcement officer, rather than a politician. Does he care that enough fentanyl is coming across that border that's killed over 100,000 Americans? Does he care that over 1,400 migrants have died crossing that border? Does he care that we have the highest number of sex trafficking of women and children in the history of this nation? If he wanted to be a sheriff and a law enforcement officer, you would think he would support anything he could to help secure this border and slow down the flow. Like Sheriff Lamb does, like Sheriff Daniels does, like Sheriff Wilmot, 3 sheriffs in Arizona that are trying to secure the border, doing what they can to protect the citizens, not only of their county, but of this nation. He's an embarrassment to the position he holds. He ought to turn in his badge.
Well, it does seem like an invitation for a massive amount of illegal immigrants to flood his area, his specific area, because he just said that he doesn't want the border barrier to be there. So if that message gets to the illegal immigrants, then yeah, he's making a problem for himself. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, did you hear about this? A Navy SEAL who became famous after coming out as transgender, says he is detransitioning because the process destroyed his life, and he's calling on America to wake up. We have the rest of his message coming up.
And the Philadelphia School Board could be changing its policy to allow kids to choose which gender sports team they want to compete on. We're talking to a Philly parent who has a serious problem with this. Next.
It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment, showed in your eyes. And now you're...
Did you know that every time you drive in traffic, you're likely sharing the road with a sleepy driver? That is incredibly dangerous. Sleep deprivation and insomnia affect up to 70 million people per year. And it's about time that we bring that number down with Relaxium Sleep.
After years of watching patients struggle, I developed the formula for Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep addresses the root of the problem by balancing levels of neurotransmitters in the brain and by restoring the natural sleep cycle.
Yeah, Relaxium has been a miracle for us. Since I've been getting to rest, it's improved our marriage.
I don't even know how we lived for 30 years without it, because now I know this man differently than I knew him before.
Not sleeping actually slows down your thought process. Lack of sleep can lead to very serious overall health issues. With Relaxium, There's no second cup of coffee needed, no doctor's appointment necessary, and it's safe to take every night, and it can start working from the very first night, just like it did for me.
In a double-blind placebo clinical trial, Relaxium Sleep helped people fall asleep 140% faster, stay asleep over 200% longer, and wake up feeling refreshed.
If you're at home and all you're doing is flipping and flopping and you're not getting calm enough to go to sleep, take Relaxium Sleep. It'll work. I promise you it'll work.
That's one of the many reasons I take Relaxium, and so should you. Call now for a risk-free opportunity to get the best night of sleep you've ever had.
Relaxium Sleep is so confident that it will work for you, they're giving away 1,000 bottles. Call 800-898-9322 or go to tryrelaxium.com. Don't wait another night. Try
15
Relaxium
minutes.
Sleep risk-free for 30 days. That's 800-898-9322 or go to tryrelaxium.com. Act now.
15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked material.
Men's Liberty can help. Our discreet external device is safe, sanitary, and keeps you dry 24 hours, day and night. Step into the spotlight and do more of what you love with Men's Liberty. It's been ordered over 5 million times by thousands of satisfied fans. Call now to get a free week supply with your first order. There's no obligation, just the opportunity to try the most revolutionary solution to incontinence ever made. Unlike diapers, Men's Liberty is a long-term answer to dealing with incontinence. Make the choice to finally move forward with your life by calling Men's Liberty today. We'll answer all of your questions about how our completely unique device works and how Medicare can cover it. Dealing with expensive, uncomfortable diapers is no way to live. Men's Liberty lets you get back out there with more freedom and confidence to be you. Ready to find out more about our offer to get a free week supply? Then don't wait. Call Men's Liberty today.
Sean breaks down the big stories like no one else.
Crisis after crisis, Joe Biden is failing this country on a massive scale.
Don't miss Hannity weeknights.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology for just $297. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not one, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $297. Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $297 and free shipping.
800-325-4991. Again, that's 800-325-4991.
I did cheerleading through high school. I went to the Colts cheerleading and I loved it. I was about to go to work and I collapsed.
Thanks to the American Heart Association's support of life-saving research and medical breakthroughs, Tessa got her life back after suffering from a debilitating and near-fatal stroke. To learn more about how the American Heart Association is saving lives, go to helpheart.org.
A retired Navy SEAL who garnered fame and a lot of acclaim from the left after coming out as transgender is now detransitioning. Chris Beck, who was going by Kristen Beck, says the process destroyed his life, and he says trans health services are hurting children. Quote, there are thousands of gender clinics being put up over all of America, and as soon as kids go in and say, I'm a tomboy, and then a psychologist says, oh, you're transgender, and then the next day you're on hormones. This is why I am trying to tell America to wake up. Wow. Beck says he wants to raise awareness about the dangers of kids being exposed too young and how these procedures can have life-altering consequences. A man getting arrested after punching an undercover NYPD officer at a drag queen story hour for kids. It all happened Saturday during the event at New York City's public library. The suspect was reportedly egging on a group of protesters that were peacefully holding signs like respect childhood and leave our kids alone. You see the He's literally on the left, so tolerant. He continued screaming obscenities at the officer, and the parents present was quickly escorted out of the building, put in handcuffs, and now faces multiple charges, including disorderly conduct and attempted assault. Quite a tough guy there.
All right, the School Board of Philadelphia is set to review a change in their policy that would allow students to pick which gender sports team they want to join. They could decide to add language that reads, students participating in interscholastic athletics may participate on the team of the gender with which they identify. Daniel Nancy is the father of 3 female Girl Philadelphia public school students and a member of the Commonwealth Foundation, and joins me now. Daniel, good morning to you. So what do you think about this, allowing students to pick the gender team, gender sports team that they want to play on? What do you think about that?
Good morning, Carly, and thank you for having me this morning. I think this should not happen. This is wrong in every way you look at it. This is even causing a safety issue for our kids. And definitely, last but not least, this shouldn't even be a priority right now, as there are more pressing and urgent issues that should be addressed in the Philadelphia school district, such as allowing kids from any type of neighborhood, social background to have access to a better education. I'm just sad that this is being considered, and we should raise parent awareness to make sure this doesn't occur, because this will put our kids into a total, I don't even know, there is no word for it.
Yeah, and you said that your daughter played volleyball at the YMCA, but there were boys on the team, so she stopped playing. Tell us what happened there.
Exactly. So my daughter last year, I enrolled her in basketball and volleyball, actually, so that she can see whichever she likes better. And at the time she was 12, and with the YMCA group, with the basketball, she had to be placed together with the boys and the girl. It was a mixed team, and she didn't feel comfortable at all. And this is the reason why my daughter, who really initially really likes basketball, decided to go for volleyball, because she pulled me aside and told me that she doesn't feel comfortable playing with other boys in her team. They are much more stronger, and it's not really a competition environment, because the boys too will hold themselves not to play well, because they don't want to be too aggressive toward the girl. And she finally decided to go to volleyball, because she's like, okay, I noticed that boys are not very interested in volleyball. This is an all-girl team, and I feel much more comfortable sticking to this sport. And this could happen to many other kids as well, pulling away from what they really like just because they want to be comfortable. And I think that's unfair.
So we just reported on this story of a Navy SEAL who transitioned from male to female, and now he is in the process of detransitioning. And his message is that children are getting pressure to make these gender decisions far too early by adults and healthcare professionals. What do you think about that message? Do you think he's right?
He's totally right. I think children should be given time. They should be given time. I'm not against supporting them, but they should be given time to mature and really know where they stand. And this should not happen at the children's age. This should not happen at the children's age. This should not be a parent decision to make for children. They should. The only thing the parent can do is being supportive and because growing up, you are going through different stages in life. Growing up, you are going through different stages in life, and when you are trying to find yourself and balance and figuring it out, you could be in the wrong spot. You could make mistakes. So this is not a parent decision to make at all. And this is very dangerous. What is happening
we need to leave it there.
country.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for speaking out on this issue. We appreciate it. We appreciate you joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me speak.
You bet. Absolutely. All right, new Twitter files show company executives had meetings with federal agencies on a weekly basis, all while Twitter was scrambling to come up with new rules to kick then President Trump off the site.
And would it surprise you to find out that not one Sunday show or any other network covered it? We're going to go over that again with Joe Concha. Big 5 a.m. hour coming up.
I'll take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. Yeah. Ready for a superstar. Got my engines on. Oh, tonight at 7, 6 o'clock. You see my rocket ship head up in the clouds when the spaceship did ignite. Hit me from the ground, I'm about to live. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This holiday season, give your special someone the gift of naturally nude pajamas, exclusively from Pajamagram. A luxurious way to relax. Naturally nude pajamas caress her skin and complement her every curve, plus accentuate her beauty. Naturally nude pajamas are available in sizes from extra small to 3X and come with a love it guarantee. And now, in this special TV offer, when you order Pajamagram's naturally nude pajamas today, they'll ship tomorrow. But that's not all. You'll also receive absolutely free a naturally nude nightie. Even better, when you order today, Pajamagram will include free gift packaging. Order now. Through this special TV offer, you'll save $75 and get a free bonus nightie. Plus, Pajamagram will wrap it for absolutely free. Make her feel cherished this holiday season. Order now, ships tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm passing those savings directly onto you. You can get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's best cotton. It's grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. I know my sheets are perfect for you, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee for Christmas until March 1st, 2023, making them the perfect gifts for your friends, your family, and everyone you know. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
The World Cup semifinals kick off on Fox. Tuesday, it's Lionel Messi in Argentina against Luka Modric and 2018 finalist Croatia.
Croatia, do it again!
Then on Wednesday,
Mbappe's superhuman.
Kylian Mbappe and defending champs France face Morocco.
The Moroccan dream is very much alive!
Coverage begins Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And catch up on any match for free on Tubi.
Meet Carrie and Sherry. They started Off-Road Vixens, an apparel company for women who ride.
We wanted to create something that wasn't flowers and butterflies and pink.
Their business got traction, and they needed financing to expand.
We talked to our local bank. They told us that we didn't have a chance.
Enter smartbizloans.com. We found them a bank which got them an SBA loan with a great rate, and we made the process easy. We've helped over 230,000 small businesses get over $9 billion in funding.
Without SmartBiz, we probably wouldn't have gotten a loan.
Apply today at smartbizloans.com.
Sometimes you might not feel ready for the moment. With Roman at your side,
We got this.
you can take care of erectile dysfunction discreetly. So that you're ready. Roman ready.
You deserve that feeling. Pure relief. You put in the work, whether you're training for a marathon or just living one. The Power Boost Move from Sharper Image. It's time to power your potential. The Power Boost Move from Sharper Image.
The timeless gift. 2-carat heart pendants, $49. Stackable bands, $199. 3-stone rings, $199. 1-carat, $899. And 1-carat studs, $599. Thousands of gifts guaranteed to appraise for double. The Jewelry Exchange Direct.
Fox News alert. The man accused of making the bomb that killed 270 people on Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, set to appear in court today. Abu Aguila Mohammed Massoud now in U.S. custody for his role in the 1988 bombing. You're watching Fox Affairs First here on a Monday morning. I'm Todd Perino.
And I'm Carly Shimkus. The man allegedly behind the terror attack is a former Libyan intel operative who was also an expert at making explosive devices. DOJ officials say he set a timer so that the bomb would explode aboard the flight the next day. He then handed it off to a co-conspirator who placed it on a conveyor belt bound for the plane. Alexandria Hoff is live in Washington with more. Alexandria.
Well, Carly, Todd, it's been 34 years, almost to the day that the JFK-bound flight exploded over Lockerbie. Now that man accused of making the bomb that killed all on board and 11 people on the ground will face justice. Abu Aguila Mohammed Massoud had been in prison in Libya for a separate sentence. It took 2 years of negotiations to get him here. Massoud will be the only one out of 3 people charged in connection to this attack to stand trial in an American courtroom. The Department of Justice confirming that he had been taken into custody yesterday and that he will appear this afternoon in federal court. Among the 190 Americans killed in the December 21st, 1988 attack, 35 of them were students at Syracuse University who are headed home after a trip abroad. The president of the victims of Pan Am Flight 103 shared, "This is what we've been fighting for. This was a major coordinated effort by many parts of our government, and we are just grateful. Not that this is over by any stretch, but it's a great first step." Now, among the victims was Tom Ammerman. He was 36 years old, a married father of 2 young girls. His brother Bret has sought justice for nearly 3.5 decades. He told Fox News' Eric Shawn yesterday that he's grateful justice is coming for Massoud, but says questions over Iran's possible involvement in the attack must be answered.
It's more than just Libya. There is no question, Eric, in my mind, that Iran was involved. And if we had used intelligence information all along, we would have come to this conclusion years ago.
Now, Bret called on the president directly to make intelligence on the attack available. Carly, Todd.
All right, Alexander. To ensuring the group's enduring defeat.
Meantime, Victor Bout says he wholeheartedly supports Russia's war in Ukraine. In an interview with Russian state media, the newly freed merchant of death said he would volunteer to serve in the Russian army if he were allowed to do so and had the necessary skills to share. Bout was serving a 25-year prison sentence here in the U.S. for conspiring to kill Americans, acquiring and exporting anti-aircraft missiles, and supporting a terrorist organization. During the interview, he also denied having any connection with the Taliban or that he supplied arms to Afghanistan. U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, who prosecuted Victor Bout, lays out the dangers of trading the Russian arms trafficker. Watch this.
Convicted at trial by unanimous jury of conspiracy to kill Americans. He was convicted of conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists. He's on tape with confidential informants, planning to sell hundreds of surface-to-air missiles to the FARC, also sell 30,000 AK-47s to the FARC for the stated purpose of shooting down American helicopters in Colombia. So he's a dangerous man then. I don't know how dangerous he is now. Right. Presumably, is his ability to engage in trafficking of armaments at a time when Russia is at war with Ukraine? Is it diminished? Is he operational still possibly? I don't know the answers to those questions. Right. But I think people of good faith can, in good faith, ask questions and be concerned about it, even when we're very, very happy that Brittany Griner is back in the U.S.
Bharara, working under then Attorney General Eric Holder, convicted Bout back in 2011, calling his crimes, quote, a source of concern around the globe for decades.
Now to this, NASA's Orion spacecraft splashing down in the Pacific Ocean on Sunday, concluding NASA's historic Artemis 1 mission.
From Tranquility Base to Taurus Littrow to the tranquil waters of the Pacific, the latest chapter of NASA's journey to the moon comes to a close. Orion, back on Earth.
The spacecraft made a 25-day uncrewed voyage around the moon. One of the managers of the Artemis mission confirms there were no immediate issues with Orion's return from space. The vessel is headed to U.S. Naval Base San Diego before it returns to Kennedy Space Center. Orion blasted off into space last month, marking the start of the Artemis program, which hopes to bring astronauts back to the moon in this decade.
Cool.
Exciting stuff there. Cool is right. All right, Senator Kirsten Sinema becoming the latest Democrat to ditch the party as she criticizes the government for failing to secure the border.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew changed his affiliation from blue to red back in 2019. We're talking to him next.
To wrap, easy to give. Check out the battery-powered AK homeowner system with sets starting at $199.99. Real steel. Find yours.
At Booking.com, finding perfect isn't rocket science. Kitchen? Sorted. Hot tub? Why not? And of course, puppy friendly. We don't like to say perfect, but it's pretty perfect. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
When we started our business, we were paying like an arm and a leg for the postage. I remember setting up ShipStation. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was printing out labels and saving money.
ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy and seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go.
Our cost for shipping, like, were cut in half, just like that.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
About 3 years into dating, Zach tells me that he struggles with erectile dysfunction and that he takes a medication for it.
And it went so well that I decided to tell everyone.
He means on national television.
Roman started with erectile dysfunction and since has been built to achieve all of your healthcare goals. Go to Roman, talk to a doctor, see if treatment is right for you. If it is, we ship it right to your door.
Speaking as a patient, not just as wife, like it's very cool.
Handmade patriotism, delivered to your door, your business, your home, your garage. Nothing says I'm proud to be an American like displaying your values through patriotism. And a handmade flag from Metal Art of Wisconsin sends a clear message. Each flag is handmade with American pride, each one given the white glove treatment. Check out our full line of innovative products at freedomcabinet.com.
Tucker Carlson tonight.
It'll be a different day, but our position on the world will remain unchanged.
Don't miss a minute. Weeknights on Fox News Channel.
Oh, Max, you broke it. No, don't do that. Bad boy.
Find out what we're made of. When we are called to help our
Go to your room.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there.
Americans nationwide still struggling to keep up with rising food costs, and even charities say it's getting harder to deal with America's hunger crisis.
a couple months into the pandemic. Right when we hit there in March, around April, May, we were seeing huge numbers, and those numbers haven't gone down. With inflation, costs are up, but the donations are up only, slightly.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew is a member of the House Homeland Security Committee, and he joins us now. Congressman, thanks for being here. What steps will Republicans take to reduce costs when they control the House next month?
Well, first of all, you have to take action. And, one of the things that this president, this administration, and this majority does, they either take no action at all and just hope that things will cure themselves, or they take the wrong action. Steps that we would take, all the increased costs and all the money that have been spent, the trillions of dollars in wasteful spending, the money that was spent in the supposed Inflation Reduction Act, which was actually the inflation creation taxation legislation in my mind. It was a bad piece of legislation, hired 87,000 more IRS workers. We're going to try to completely reverse that, spent more on taxes and taxed more on people and middle-class people as well. Just don't let them tell you it's the rich. We would, again, try to reverse that as well. We have to have some cooperation because we have the majority in the House. We need the Senate, and we need the president for once. For God's sake, for once, to try to do the right thing.
Yeah, turning off the money spigot would go a long way to helping bring down inflation. Meantime, I want to get your thoughts on this, something that's somewhat familiar to you. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, the latest Democrat to leave the parties. She is citing failure at our border as the reason why. Take a listen.
As a native Arizonan who was born and raised near the southern border, I can tell you unequivocally that the federal government has failed its duty in the last 40 years.
Not just Democrats.
It's just everyone. The federal government has failed here.
You're familiar with this, Congressman Van Drew. You switched from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, like we said in the tease, in 2019. What retribution is she about to get from the Democrats?
Oh, they're not going to be happy. They don't have much of a choice here, and they're probably, when they go to sleep at night, praying that she doesn't become a Republican, because that would even be better. We're going to have to see how she does, what actions she takes. Certainly, it's a setback for them to lose somebody as a Democrat, and I know she's going to caucus with the Democrats, but I hope she votes and thinks independently. They're not going to be happy. The pressure is going to be on her. It was on before. But let me tell you, she's right about this issue. The federal government, again, this administration, this majority and this president should be so, disgusted with what they're doing, but they don't even realize how bad a job they're doing. You almost have to believe it's purposeful. They want to change the fabric and the structure of America, and this is one way to do it, and it's a bad way to do it, and we've got to reverse that as well. Build the wall, put in electronic controls as well. Also hire more individual police, border patrol, to really survey the area, and not only survey but protect the area and make sure that we don't catch and release. We should catch and send back. There's so much we could do. See, the issue here is these are really curable problems. We can make this better. This is not all that intellectually difficult, and it's something that can be done, and it just requires stiff, hard, good action to move forward and get our country secure again.
Yet this is a solution from DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He wants to deploy air marshals to the border. You wrote a letter saying that's a bad idea. 15 seconds. Isn't he making a bad situation worse here?
Oh, yeah, he is. It's the height of stupidity. So what he's doing is making us more vulnerable in the air at the most vulnerable time of the year when people are traveling a lot. You think he would have learned or studied 9/11 a little bit. And secondly, they're not going to be able to really help because it's not what they're trained for. They are trained in a highly specified, very important job, and that's to protect our skies from violence. Right. And instead, they're putting them on the border. We need real Border Patrol people there. We need them in the air.
And we need to embolden those Border Patrol individuals to do the job of Border Patrol, not just processing and facilitating the administration's horrible policies. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you very much for your time, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Over 1,500 migrants crossing into El Paso, Texas last night as the border crisis becomes a catastrophe. New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis has felt the impact of the migrant crisis right in her district. She joins us live.
Plus, the Biden administration is defending giving a $200 million grant to a company with ties to the Chinese government. We're asking Trump's former budget director, Russ Vought, if he has a problem with that. That's coming up next.
Hello. After years of chasing the big Idaho potato truck, I finally caught it. And now that I got a 4-ton tater, I did what anyone would do. I made a mashed potato hot tub. I made it rain. Waffle fries. And just as I found the perfect pat of butter... What is it, boy? Always look for the grown in Idaho seal.
A heart attack? Do they have life insurance?
No.
But we have life insurance. John.
I'm trying to find something we can afford.
Fortunately, in only a few minutes, SelectQuote found John a $500,000 policy for only $29 a month. And his wife Anne a $500,000 policy for only $21 a month. Go to SelectQuote.com now and get the insurance your family needs
at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Nothing starts your day like a great shower. But wait, overnight, your shower head is a breeding ground for germs and bacteria. According to a recent study, that first blast of hot water in the morning can be packed with dangerous pathogens. Wake up to AquaCare, the breakthrough handheld shower head with antimicrobial nozzles that inhibit the growth of mold, mildew, and bacteria inside, giving you a clean, luxurious, powerful shower every time. The secret is Germ Shield antimicrobial technology that works 24/7 at a molecular level to protect AquaCare nozzles from bacterial contamination. Ordinary showerhead nozzles clog and lose water pressure, but AquaCare's anti-clog nozzles remain clog-free for superior water pressure and flow. With 8 amazing settings, from drenching rain to pulsating massage and a convenient water-saving pause mode, you can use AquaCare as a handheld or an overhead shower. It installs in minutes, no tools needed, and no other shower head can do this. Just flip the head and AquaCare turns into a power wash. Use the fan spray to instantly rinse off soap or the Target jet to blast away that stubborn scum buildup without setting foot in your shower. And it's ideal for pets. AquaCare is a complete shower hygiene system for your entire family. Call or go online to get your AquaCare with Germ Shield for the manufacturer's direct price of just $29.99. With an amazing lifetime warranty, it's the last shower head you'll ever need. Order right now and we'll instantly upgrade your order with an extra long stainless steel hose and a low reach wall bracket. Ideal for children and seniors. Yours absolutely free. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. You get it all. An incredible value for one low price. Call or go online to buyaquacare.com. Order now.
Your personal information gets exposed so often, it might as well be hanging in a museum. Everyday activities like online shopping, banking, and even data breaches may expose your information and make it dangerously easy to have your identity stolen. No wonder there's a new victim every 3 seconds.
Someone stole my information and tried to buy a car in my name. Felt really devastating because I had no control.
But protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors threats to your identity, and if an issue is detected, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it.
If something happens, you have somebody fighting for you.
All backed by LifeLock's $1 million protection package, including reimbursement for stolen funds.
Everybody needs to have LifeLock.
Identity theft protection starts here. Call the number on your screen or visit lifelock.com/get25 and use promo code GET25 to save 25% on your first year of identity theft protection. Enroll now.
The Biden administration is defending giving a $200 million grant to an energy company tied to China after financial disclosures show 69% of its revenue was generated in the communist country, while only 3% came from the United States. Russ Vought is former OMB director under President Trump in Center for Renewing America president and joins us now. Russ, good morning to you. What do you make of this $200 million grant?
Well, it's pretty concerning. I mean, you have a country that, or a company that is on a number of lists of concerning companies that may be in violation of current law as it pertains to the steps that this country has taken to make sure that there are companies firmly tied to China, making sure they're using China-based auditors. So this is the kind of thing that we've been concerned about with regard to the $135 billion that was passed. Where's the money going? Yes, we need to take steps to make sure that we build our capacity in this country, but the extent to which the bureaucracy doesn't have the controls in place to make sure that it goes to actual companies that have that same desire is a real concern in this matter.
Yeah, so this company makes batteries for electric vehicles. It's called Microvast. It is based in Texas, but the Department of Energy, they're now defending giving this massive grant to them, saying Microvast is an American battery company, and thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, it no longer needs to look to China to establish its manufacturing facilities. And the company says they are not pro-China and that they create a lot of American jobs here at home. So essentially their message is that this grant will help them distance themselves from China, so no cause for concern.
Well, we have concerns, and I probably wouldn't have put it on the list of the first set of companies to be able to get this money that is being sent out from the Department of Energy. And so I think that's the concern: is does the Biden administration have the right perspective as it comes to the concern with regard to China and in companies that are have had a very close relationship with China? This is a perfect example of it, and there needs to be great scrutiny. And I'm glad there's many on Congress that are already saying that they intend to do so. Speaking of China, Chinese President Xi Jinping just met with the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, and this summit is supposed to signify a new era of Chinese-Arab partnerships. And here is former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on that front. Watch this.
This administration came in, they went soft on China. They called the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They said the leader was a pariah. And when you do those things, you will hurt the American people all across this country. And what you saw happen in the kingdom this week is a direct result of bad American policy.
Yeah, so what it seems like is because the Biden administration is hell-bent on signing this Iran nuclear deal, Saudi Arabia is now looking for new friends. And one of those new friends comes in the form of China. What do you make of this?
I agree with the former secretary. I mean, that's exactly the problem when you have an administration that does not know how to figure out who its allies are and, most importantly, who their adversaries are. And this is not the only example of the extent to which they have empowered China by taking a policy approach that was not necessary. The Trump administration set them up with the proper approach to both countries, and it's unfortunate that they are letting those relationships unravel.
Yeah, Xi Jinping was also quick to point out that they're the world's largest oil consumer, and they want to contribute to Saudi Arabia's growth in that front. So it sounds like their Belt and Road Initiative could expand to Saudi Arabia, which I'm sure Saudi Arabia is very happy to hear. But what does that mean for the United States if Saudi Arabia replaces the United States with China?
Yeah, I mean, it's an enormous problem. You know, it is something that, you know, the United States needs to be able to ensure that a country like Saudi Arabia feels comfortable in an alliance with the United States, to be able to understand that we're going to be able to approach them with an understanding of their interests and not push them them into the arms of communist China. Unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing here right now.
Yeah, the Biden administration has been pretty quiet about this meeting between Xi Jinping and the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince, but apparently they are not happy about it. Russ Vought, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, former Obama officials James Clapper and John Brennan could soon find themselves under oath after a letter they signed labeling the Hunter Biden laptop story a hoax. We're talking to David Webb about that coming up next.
And did you see this? A man getting physical with an undercover police officer who's much bigger than him, I might add, trying to keep the peace outside of a drag queen story hour event in New York City. I'll show you how this ended.
At AmericanEagle.com, businesses come to us with complex website and digital needs. Regardless of industry, an online presence can have a massive impact on your business's success. When a client comes to us with a complicated issue, it's a big deal to them. From reducing technical debt to being found online or navigating an ambitious website project, what matters most to them is finding a digital partner who gets it and owns it. At AmericanEagle.com, these are issues we solve for all the time. I'm Tim Elanius, Vice President of Digital Strategy at AmericanEagle.com. Whether it's building a complex website, integrating multiple systems, or improving digital marketing, our experts harness decades of experience to produce results that matter not only to our customers, but to our customers' customers. If your business is ready to transform its online presence, you need AmericanEagle.com. Let us put our proven track record to work for you. And the team at AmericanEagle.com is here for you.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but hate fumbling with all those attachments. And she hates that mess you leave behind. Well, now you can always be perfectly groomed without any attachments or mess. Introducing VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the revolutionary total body electric shaver that not only trims your hair, but actually vacuums it up at the same time. VacuTrim's unique dial has 20 precise trim length settings built in, so you never have to fumble with attachments ever again. Just dial and trim, groom, shape, and edge without any messy whiskers in the sink. VacuTrim's revolutionary 2-in-1 design lets you dial and trim to any length, completely mess-free. Its ultra-sharp stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum creates powerful suction, capturing all the trimmed hair into the collection chamber. So there's never any hair shavings left behind.
I hated having to fumble with all those attachments. With VacuTrim, you just dial and trim.
And there are no little hairs all over the sink. That's why I love it too.
Snap on the easy-to-use guide to tighten and shape your beard. Dial it down to 5 to shape goatees and edge sideburns. Dial VacuTrim to 1 for that perfect rugged look. Or remove the guide to tame unwanted hair on your stomach, chest, and back. With VacuTrim, you get the perfect length every time. And since there's no mess, you can trim your beard just about anywhere. VacuTrim is cordless and rechargeable. You can shave up or down without water or shaving cream. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Get your VacuTrim for only $39.95, and we'll ship it to you free. Dial and trim, groom, shape, and edge like a pro with VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the adjustable electric shaver that cuts and vacuums at the same time. So there's never any mess. Get yours now.
To order, call 1-800-709-6818. That's 1-800-709-6818, or go to VacuTrim.com. So call 1-800-709-6818 or order online at VacuTrim.com.
Psoriatic arthritis made my joints stiff, swollen, painful.
Emerge Tremfyant. Tremfya is approved to help reduce joint symptoms in adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Some patients even felt less fatigued.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge Tremfyant. With Tremfya, ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
A winter megastorm from California making its way to the East Coast after more than 21 inches of snow hit parts of the Golden State. The fast-moving system already hitting us in the Northeast or nearing the Northeast.
That is so pretty. Look at that sight. Yesterday, parts of New York began to see flurries, and winter weather advisories were issued to areas of the Northeast as the snow could cause dangerous traveling conditions. People could expect to see up to 10 inches of snow ahead of their morning commute. Oh, say it ain't so. Meteorologist Adam Klotz here with our Fox Weather forecast. Hello.
You get snow, you get snow, you get
I did get snow.
Everyone gets snow. Would you have 4 inches, Todd?
I got about 4 inches. I think I'm guesstimating.
I think I've seen 7 or 8 inches has kind of been the highest across interior New England. And you know what? We're kind of wrapping up what we're seeing there or here early this morning. But that is that system that kind of quickly swept across the Northeast, as much as 8 inches of snow. But it is kind of round after round of winter weather across the country, as we have a big one that's been sweeping across the West Coast. Very heavy snow in California. That is now lifting into the Pacific Northeast. This is going to be one that's going to sweep the entire country, and we're going to be talking about a major snowstorm over the next couple of days that's going to affect millions and millions and millions of people. We've got winter storm weather advisories, winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings back across the northern plains. You're seeing that kind of back over my right shoulder. So big winter weather is on the way. This is the low pressure system that's going to sweep across the country. Some of those deeper colors there you're seeing is feet and feet and feet of snow. So this is a big winter system. It's going to run across the Midwest. It is going to impact New England again. But if you look kind of back off behind it, if you live in the southeast, it is a big rainmaker. This is a huge winter system that I think is going to affect the entire country over the week ahead.
A winter system that goes from the West Coast to the East.
All the way to the East Coast and drops feet of snow. It's going to be a blizzard at times.
That is certainly news there.
It's a biggie Tupac storm from the West Coast to the East Coast.
They're beefing.
Thank you.
Adam, thank you. Todd, thank you for that, too, as well. We appreciate you. All right. Thanks, guys. Turning now to this, House Republicans are getting ready to subpoena former Obama intel officials and others over the censorship of the New York Post's Hunter Biden laptop story.
Those 51 intel agents that signed a letter that said the Hunter Biden information was all wrong, was Russia collusion, many of them have a security clearance. We're going to bring them before committee. Why did they sign it? Why did they lie to the American public? A Clapper, a Brennan. Why did you use the reputation that America was able to give to you, more information, but use it for a political purpose and lie to the American public?
Fox News contributor David Webb joins us now. David, I'm tired of talking about these 51 without any consequences. Will there ultimately be consequences? Will those 51 individuals be held accountable for what they did?
Well, that's the important question of the day, and the important question that McCarthy and whatever the Republicans do in the next Congress once they're sworn in, what do they deliver? Look, 43 of the 51 were CIA. This was essentially a CIA operation where you have this letter. What did they have? They had the laptop before that. The FBI had the laptop. Who knew what and when? Realize that they weren't just doing this with a letter. There was Supervisory Agent Elvis Chan meeting with Twitter, with a team of agents. There were with Facebook. There were a whole lot of things going on here to carry out what they knew was a fake Russia collusion story to drive this as a political weapon that could be used by Joe Biden in a debate with Trump. So when you look at this, where there's that much smoke, there has to be fire, subpoena power, compel them to come, put them under oath. McCarthy and the Republicans cannot carry out another Washington commission committee where they sit there and just ask questions and tell their own story for 5 minutes or 4 of the 5 minutes, then ask a question with the answer. Enough. The people need answers under oath, and if it needs to and it leads to it, then these are people who possibly may be prosecuted or should be prosecuted.
David, what do you think about this conversation surrounding stamping out disinformation? In some instances, disinformation is just having a contrary opinion to the approved narrative, and yet the federal government is still openly saying that they are trying to fight back against it.
Yeah, it's a lie. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Disinformation is a deliberate action, right? That's something that's being done, for example, by the Chinese on social media platforms like TikTok with information warfare. You look at the instruments of national security, the DIME strategy. Information, and in this case, disinformation, is a valuable tool. Calling something disinformation because it's a counter opinion that has a valid point, or at least is worthy of discussion, is simply a lie to push one-sided information. And we saw this coming out regarding so many things, from COVID to Russia collusion, all of these issues.
Finally, David, the school board of Philadelphia is set to review language to a policy that states, quote, students participating in interscholastic athletics may participate on the team of the gender with which they identify. David, that last line that I read, that seems like the end of girls' sports to me. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, where are the girls trying to play boys' sports? Now, what this is, and I looked into this, you have a 2016 and a 2017 language. You have language there. They want to normalize what used to be in 2016 a case-by-case basis. They now want to make broad acceptance. It's beyond broad acceptance. They want to pervert girls' sports. Governor Wolf vetoed a legislation by the legislature. But if you're expecting biological sanity out of a state that had a Secretary of Health that is a man masquerading as a woman who becomes Biden's deputy HHS secretary and then is selected as one of the Women of the Year by USA Today, do you really expect sanity out of both Pennsylvania and Philadelphia Democrats or woke progressives? I wouldn't expect it. This is an insult to girls. You should not have boys walking around with their genitals hanging out as they do it with Leah Thomas in the locker room. We now know that this is going on. It's fact. And for fathers and mothers out there, should your daughters be in the locker rooms with boys?
Yeah, the Biden administration also supporting changing Title IX to make it gender neutral. So it's not just at the state level, it's also at the federal level as well. David, got to leave it there.
And that silence you hear is the feminists from the 60s who aren't saying a word to any of this now. David, thank you so much.
They're absolutely silent.
A man getting arrested after punching an undercover NYPD officer at a drag queen story hour for kids. It all happened Saturday evening during an event at New York City's public library. The suspect was reportedly egging on a group of protesters that were peacefully holding signs like "Respect Childhood" and "Leave Our Kids Alone." You can see right here the man punching the plainclothes officer in the stomach as the cop tries to calm him down. He continued screaming obscenities at the officer and the parents present, quickly escorted out of the building, put in handcuffs, now faces multiple charges, including disorderly conduct and attempted assault.
And speaking of police, officers are fleeing New York City and heading to smaller areas as crime in the Big Apple continues to soar. The city of Danbury, Connecticut, which is about 15 miles north of New York City, welcomed 6 new NYPD officers last week, according to the Danbury News-Times. Officers citing higher pay and a lot less crime. There's a lot less crime in Danbury, right, Todd? As the reason for the move, it's the latest wave of officers leaving the force. As of November, about 1,200 officers have resigned. An NYPD officer told the New York Post he doesn't see this trend stopping anytime soon.
It's part of a migration. I'm trying to get you up to Connecticut. The other thing, you get the Nardelli sandwiches there in Danbury, which are really good. So another reason to move from New York City to
Making a very serious story about police and crime about food.
It's a really good sandwich.
We can support that. Just this time. All right, turning now to this. More Twitter files are out, and we're learning the lengths executives were willing to go to get Trump off the platform permanently.
But don't expect any of the Sunday shows other than ours to cover it. Joe Concha here live on that. Next.
Waiting. Sometimes it's just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, untreated COVID could be deadly. Got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
Ho, ho, ho! Phil Swift here. This holiday season, get everyone on your shopping list the Flex Seal family of products. Flex Seal is the easy way to stop leaks fast. Flex Seal liquid starts out super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber. Brush or roll on large areas to protect from wind, ice, or snow. And Flex Shot is the easy way to caulk, bond, and seal. I'm delivering a lot of Flex Seal this holiday, so I turned the boat into a flying sleigh. Everyone wants Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape that can patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex Glue is the super strong rubberized glue with amazing instant grab. And Flex Paste fills huge cracks. Even at extreme cold, Flex Paste keeps its hold. Get the Flex Seal family of products at these fine retailers.
Diamonds at their lowest prices in years. 1 carat solitaires just $7.99, 2 carat $18.90, 1 carat studs $5.99. Thousands of GIA diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. Don't miss these deals. The Jewelry Exchange Direct.
A heart attack? Do they have life insurance?
No.
But we have life insurance. John.
I'm trying to find something we can afford.
Fortunately, in only a few minutes, SelectQuote found John a $500,000 policy for only $29 a month, and his wife Anne a $500,000 policy for only $21 a month. Go to SelectQuote.com now and get the insurance your family needs
at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Sean breaks down the big stories like no one else.
Crisis after crisis, Joe Biden is failing this country on a massive scale.
Don't miss Hannity weeknights.
Okay, Griffin, what are you going to pick?
My name is Jennifer. My son is Griffin. He is 3 years old, and he is diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. St. Jude, honestly, to us is everything. You know, we've been here at our most broken, our most scared, and our most terrified, and they literally picked us up off the ground and strengthened us. And from that very first moment when we were walking down the halls into our hospital room, you could see all the names and all the organizations and all the people who have donated, and it felt like, wow, we have this incredible, huge team of people all over the world are fighting with us to make sure that Griffin has the best medical care and the best chance for a cure. Griffin, say hi. And they don't stop. Like, literally, St. Jude never stops. For all the people who contribute to St. Jude, we are so grateful for everything that you have done to give us our son and to make sure that he has a long and happy and healthy life.
Newly uncovered Twitter documents revealing the company scrambled to change policies to permanently ban then-President Donald Trump from the platform without concern for free speech. And we're learning executives had weekly meetings with the federal government on their calendars.
These social media companies working with the federal government have censored and oppressed us in our own homes and told our neighbors and our family members if we're not doing what they said during COVID and the mandates, which was not law, that they were to turn us in. So when you look again at the totality of circumstances, what you see is that the government is in our homes. It doesn't matter if they're sleeping in another room. They're here and they're working with social media companies to oppress our speech. That to me is no different. They are quartering in our home without our consent.
Brooke Singman has the very latest. Brooke.
Hey, good morning, guys. The Twitter files released over the weekend revealing meetings between Twitter, the FBI, DHS, and the Director of National Intelligence. And these stunning revelations are forcing top Biden officials into damage control mode. Listen.
We aren't directing private social media companies on how to manage their content. These are decisions that they have to make as appropriate. Now, look, we obviously don't want to see, the public square polluted with hate speech and disinformation. But it's up to these social media companies to determine how they're going to manage their content.
On Friday night, independent journalist Matt Taibbi detailed Twitter's relationship with government agencies in Part 3 of the Twitter files. An internal message sent by Yoel Roth, Twitter's former head of trust and safety in October 2020, mentions a weekly meeting with Twitter would have with FBI, DHS, and Director of National Security officials. The message reads in part, quote, "The meeting happened about 15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked materials implosion. The government declined to share anything useful when asked." Now, the hacked materials implosion is a reference to Twitter's censorship of the New York Post's reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop. Meanwhile, Saturday night, independent journalist Michael Schellenberger shared Part 4 of the Twitter files. Now, when it comes to former President Trump, the thread begins with this bombshell tweet. On January 7th, senior Twitter executives create justifications to ban Trump, seek a change of policy for Trump alone, distinct from other political leaders, and express no concern for the free speech or democracy implications of a ban. An internal message sent by Roth says then CEO Jack Dorsey approved this 5-strike system system to ban users just one day before Trump was permanently suspended. Roth went on to say that under the new policy, Trump had just one strike remaining. Now, after these staggering revelations, House Oversight Committee ranking member James Comer says the GOP now has sufficient evidence for the investigation into both the FBI and Twitter. Listen.
The thing that concerns me most with respect to our investigation is what role did the government play in the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop stories, especially the FBI. I wonder who else at the FBI has a pattern of suppressing free speech, especially in censoring conservatives.
As evidence against Twitter and the FBI continues to pile up, Republicans have vowed to thoroughly investigate the cover-up of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Carly, Todd.
All right, Brooke Singman live for us. Thank you so much. Let us bring in author of Come On, Joe Concha. Joe, another tweet from Michael Schellenberg in the latest installment of these Twitter files says on January 8th, Twitter says its ban is based on specifically how Trump's tweets are being received and interpreted. But in 2019, Twitter said it did not attempt to determine all potential interpretations of the content or its intent. Right. So Twitter executives got into the business of taking down tweets because they were afraid of how people would interpret them.
Right. In other words, if you're at home and you're on your computer or you're on a subway or you're on a bus or you're looking at your phone while you're at work, you're too stupid. You are not smart enough to understand what is and what is not information that may be harmful to you, so to speak. And they weren't afraid of anything. They were working in concert with the Democratic Party. All of these emails that we're seeing, these receipts that we're seeing from Matt Taibbi and Bari Weiss now prove this. Right? And the lockstep of ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, NPR, PBS, the New York Times, the Washington Post, all not covering this is as pathetic, Carly, as it is predictable. And these networks and these outlets, this bias of omission is just as telling as Twitter's actions itself as far as shadow banning, suppression of information, outright censorship. Social media and traditional media, the free press, now appear to be saying they support the silencing of certain kinds of speech if it's something that David Webb just brought it up before. If it's something that they disagree with, then it should be silenced, right? And when this story is being covered and talked about, particularly on social media, it's being mocked as some activist journalists attempt to fail to discredit Matt Taibbi, Bari Weiss, two truly independent journalists. It's gone from now, Todd, hey, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist for saying shadow banning exists, to, hey, we already knew this. It's no big deal. Just accept it. No, we should not accept this in any way, shape, or form, yet it's not being covered anywhere.
Yeah, and Joe has been talking to us about this transition from journalism to activism for years now. Yeah. This is the most telling example. They're not even trying anymore. This is 100% activism on a story that I think objectively 5 years ago, everybody would agree this is a really big story. Along those lines, Elon Musk also posting a tweet getting some attention that his pronouns, everybody puts their pronouns, not everybody, but a few people put their pronouns out there like they, them, he, she. Elon Musk says his pronouns are prosecute Fauci. The Atlantic responding, quote, Elon Musk is a far-right activist, even though he was a Democrat up until like 10 minutes ago. The tweet is a cruel and senseless play on pronouns that also invokes the right's fury toward Anthony Fauci. Obviously, he really triggered the libs here. Joe, when I was preparing for this segment, I thought to myself, is Elon the next Donald Trump in terms of getting under the left's skin?
Oh, my. He might even be better at it. I mean, his tweets are incredible. And the thing is, the old Twitter regime apparently never even used Twitter in any way, shape, or form. They didn't even understand their product. Elon Musk understands exactly what he has here as far as a tool in terms of sending a message. And his tweets are viewed by millions upon millions of people. So, yeah, he appears to be triggering certain folks on the left, no question about it. And he's doing it in a way where now, to your point, he used to be the guy saving the world with Tesla and SpaceX, and now he's apparently part of the alt-right. Go figure how that works, but he's sharing his opinions. That's what Twitter's for, guys.
It certainly is. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Take care, Carly. Take care, Todd.
All right, the border crisis completely out of control. Over 1,500 migrants just crossed into El Paso, last night, as border encounters are already notching about half $500,000 for this fiscal year. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis is here next.
But here now, Steve Ducey with a look at what is coming up on Fox and Friends. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Todd and Carly, hang on a second. I'm just taking off my boots. We had some snow out in Jersey. Just saying. I'm ready for up to like a foot and a half.
I love it. You gotta be prepared. You're like a Boy Scout.
Steve, you're giving me a lot of Mr. Rogers vibes right now.
Thank you very much. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Sure is.
Nice. Good morning to you, Todd and Carly. Coming up on our Monday telecast, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland back in 1988, killing 270 people on board, including 35 Syracuse University students who were studying abroad, coming home for Christmas. The sister of one of the victims reacts as the bomb-making suspect makes his first court appearance in a U.S. court later on today. We're also going to hear from Piers Morgan and Newt Gingrich. And calling all bots and trolls, Elon Musk is cracking down on spam Twitter accounts. Stuart Varney is going to react. Plus, Grammy Award-winning country music singer Tanya Tucker is here to make her acting debut. Talk about that in a brand new Christmas movie. But first, she stops by Fox and Friends with the preview. So we have a busy 3 hours. Kicks off just about 9 minutes and 50 seconds from right now, right here on the channel you trust for your morning news. Todd and Carly back in a couple. You're watching Fox and Friends first.
At ADP, we use data-driven insights to design HR solutions to provide flexible pay options and greater workforce visibility today, so you can have more success tomorrow.
Attention, home chefs, cooks, and foodies. You've just cooked the perfect juicy roast. But traditional cutting boards can make it difficult to carve meats or cut fruits and vegetables, and there is always an annoying mess to clean up. Introducing the Carving King Dripless Cutting Board 2-in-1 system. Carving King's patented and genius 2-in-1 design keeps meats, poultry, fruits, and veggies securely in place while you carve, cut, and chop. Here's the secret. Carving King spikes hold the food in place, preventing slippage for the perfect cut, while the built-in drainage system funnels the juices neatly into the collection tray. Just remove and create tasty gravies, au jus, and more. All the taste without the waste. And no juicy mess to clean up.
Before, I was cleaning up essentially my entire kitchen. Now, the only thing I'm cleaning is the board.
Carving King's size is big enough to handle large meats such as turkeys, chickens, roasts, racks of ribs, you name it. And even bulky, juicy watermelons are a cinch with Carving King. The easy grip handles make it a snap to go from the counter to table. And the non-slip rubber feet keep the board securely in place. Carving King also includes a removable cutting board for chopping fruits and vegetables. Chop right on the Carving King or directly on your countertop.
When you put the Carving King down, it doesn't move. The Carving King has made me the Carving Queen.
The Carving King is made right here in the USA and is dishwasher safe and BPA free. With the Carving King, you eliminate the mess and reduce the stress. Spend more time with your family, friends, and guests instead of cleaning up the mess. Call or go online right now to get your Carving King Dripless Cutting Board, including the bonus removable chopping board insert. And with every order, we'll include this digital meat thermometer. Together, that's $40 of accessories, absolutely free. Order today and be sure to check out our free shipping offer. Get a board for yourself and one for a friend, because Carving King makes a great gift. Call or go online now.
Hi, my name's Steve. I lost 138 pounds on Golo and I kept it off. So with other diets, you just feel like you're muscling your way through it. The reason why I like Golo is plain and simple, it was easy. I didn't have to grit my teeth and do a diet. Golo's a lifestyle change, and you make the change and it stays off. Golo's changed my life in so many ways. I sleep better, I eat better. Took my shirt off in the first time in 25 years. It's Golo, it's all Golo. It's smarter, it's better, it will change your life forever.
My name is Ashley Cortez, and I'm the founder of the Stay Beautiful Foundation. When I started in 2016, I would go to the post office and literally fill out each person's name on a label. And now at ShipStation, we are shipping 500 beauty boxes a month. It takes less than 5 minutes for me to get all of my labels and get beauty in the hands of women who are battling cancer so much quicker.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
About 3 years into dating, Zach tells me that he struggles with erectile dysfunction and that he takes a medication for it.
I founded Row to help couples like Cleo and I. All you have to do is go to Rome and talk to a doctor. We're here to help.
to wrap, easy to give. The Steel Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone on your list. Real Steel. Find yours.
It's Fox Nation's once-a-year sale. Enjoy 50% off all yearly plans with our special offer. Catch our most festive shows, including Christmas at the Greenbrier and a Yellowstone Christmas. Don't miss out. Sign up for Fox Nation today and get 50% off all yearly plans.
Lawmakers say the crisis at our southern border has officially become a catastrophe, with one of the largest migrant crossings ever in El Paso, Texas, happening last night.
Marianne Rafferty has all the details. Marianne.
Good morning, Todd and Carly. Well, the video is shocking. Long lines of migrants waiting at the southern border of Texas. More than 1,000 migrants believed to have crossed in this group alone, making it one of the largest mass crossings this year. Fox's Bill Malugian saying some migrants are being caught and then bussed back across to Mexico, only to turn around and come right back again trying to cross. So far this year, there have been nearly 2.4 million encounters, setting records and also straining the resources of states left to deal with the influx. And with Title 42 set to expire in just 11 days on December 21st, border states are bracing for massive numbers of migrants. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon stressing how bad it really is.
It's never been worse than it is right now. We have 300,000 border crossings every month when you consider the known gotaways and the folks that have been processed. So it's not a crisis anymore. It's a catastrophe.
Former ICE acting director Tom Homan saying it's all about the policies.
By implementing a few common sense policies, they can push these numbers down. More resources just to process quicker is not going to fix this problem. You have the policies of the Trump administration, turn them on, and you can secure the border in a matter of 60 days.
In Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey, well, he's gotten creative, turning shipping containers into a makeshift border wall. Work crews stacking hundreds of them, topped by razor wire, along a remote part of Arizona's border. Governor Ducey set to hand off to newly elected Governor Katie Hobbs, who says she'll consider all options, but hasn't made any decisions about those containers. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has also taken matters into his own hands, deploying the Texas National Guard and state troopers to catch and jail illegal migrants. Back to you guys.
All right, Marianne, thank you. With that, let us bring in Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who sits on the Transportation and Infrastructure and Foreign Affairs Committees. Look, for the last couple of years, it's been really, really bad. Listen to this. According to Griff Jenkins, it is getting worse, and it's going to be even worse going into 2023. Griff says CBP sources told him they expect to hit 500,000 total encounters over this past weekend. That's just since October 1, 2023, unless something changes, is going to be even more horrific when Title 42 is officially gone. Is there anything that you and your fellow Republicans can do about this when you take control of the House next month?
Well, it's unconscionable that the president and the secretary have refused to do their job. They've abdicated their responsibility. We believe strongly that Mayorkas has to go. He has to resign. We have to remove him. But that, I think, is a priority of the Republican House. Obviously, our abilities are limited with the Senate and the White House. However, we believe we can hold the line and use the power of the purse, use our leverage there to push this president to do the right thing and secure our border. Already you're seeing him flip-flop a little on Title 42, and he's trying to seek to stop it after spending all last year trying to lift it. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But the reality is this is a policy that he has that is totally not compassionate at all for anyone involved. If you look at the people who are dying from fentanyl that's streaming over our border, a record of 100,000 Americans last year. You see our CBP agents, 35 killed in the line of duty last year. We just had another one, Agent Gonzalez, last week. You see 14 suicides among the CBP who are desperate because they have such apathy. They are so demoralized by this president who refuses to allow them to do their job and then refuses to actually go visit them and even hear what their concerns are at this time. And even for the migrants, okay, if this is about the migrants, 800 of them, over 800 have been killed. This perilous path, in addition to the children that are being trafficked, the women who are being trafficked. So I'm not sure who the president is prioritizing here other than the drug cartels.
Well, Congresswoman, the current government spending deal expires in 4 days on December 16th. So negotiations are underway right now. How is that going, and will there be increased border security funding in the new budget?
Well, look, with one-party rule, there won't be increased funding. We've been fighting for that for quite some time. But what I will say is next year when we take the House, and that's why we're hoping it's a short continuing resolution, when we take the House, we will put pressure on this president. I think this is the area where we need to really fight hard, Republicans, and stick together. Because if we don't have secure borders, I'm really concerned about what's going to happen. We have 100 people on the terrorist watch list who were caught crossing over. What about the hundreds of thousands of gotaways that had no interaction with CBP agents? 73,000 in the month of November alone. And if you look at the stats from CBP, they'll show you, look, the people who have been convicted and have tried crossing again has skyrocketed under President Joe Biden. We're talking about 22,000 people just in the last 2 years since he's become president. Again, who's among the gotaways? That's what we need to be concerned about. We need secure borders. And they have to stop allowing people to enter claiming asylum when they don't have legitimate asylum cases.
Leave it there. Thank you so much, Congresswoman. With that, Fox and Friends starts right now.
Bye-bye.
FBI, DHS, and the Director of National Intelligence forcing top Biden administration officials into damage control mode.
We aren't directing social media companies on how to manage their content.
The man accused of making the bomb that killed 270 people over Lockerbie, Scotland, set to appear in court.
Pan Am Flight 103 blew up back in 1988, killing all on board.
Libya has turned this person over. We should get as much information from him as possible.
The border crisis completely out of control. More than 1,500 migrants crossing into El Paso, Texas last night.
Title 42 set to expire in just 11 days. Border states are bracing for massive numbers.
Winter weather on both coasts. Very heavy snow in California. This is going to be one that's going to sweep the entire country. A major snowstorm over the next couple of days.
To the opposite side. Mahomes, he'll just chuck it ahead, and it's caught. McKinnon has the next year touchdown.
Santa's coming for us. Santa's coming for us. Santa's coming for us. Santa's coming for us. Oh, Santa's coming for us.
Live from New York City on this, the 12th day of the 12th month of the year 2022. It's Fox and Friends as you look at the all-American Christmas tree with the red star on top. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas here in the Northeast.
Santa's coming for you, Steve.
We wound up with a couple inches of snow last night in Jersey. I know. Welcome aboard, folks. It is Studio M, right here in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. It's great to have you. Good morning.
How was everyone's weekend?
Good. Was that Musical Youth? Remember Musical Youth?
Yeah.
They had that one song. I mean, who was that?
Oh, this is
Really? I've never heard that song before. Was that like recorded yesterday?
We always
Santa Claus is coming for you. I like it.
Right here where it says live, Brian.
It sounds like he's coming to attack you, right?
Terrible.
We always put the name of the song right up there just for a couple of seconds.
Disappeared quick.
Santa was not offended. I saw him over the weekend.
You did?
Yes, we talked
The real
to him.
Santa?
The real Santa was at a
Wow.
Christmas party for children. And my daughter was front and center, right at his legs.
How do you book the real Santa, I wonder?
I did not throw the party. I just showed up. So I'm not
There he
sure.
was.
We'll have to
All
ask
right.
my friend.
Anyway, hope you got ready for the season because we're just...
Content that the White House was not involved with. But as these Twitter files released by Elon Musk have been sorted through by journalists, a light has been shined on Twitter's relationship with federal agencies. Writer Matt Taibbi shared this, quote, after January 6th, internal Slack showed Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies. Here's Trust and Safety head Yoel Roth lamenting a lack of generic enough calendar descriptions to conceal his very interesting meeting partners. Now, that screenshot attached shows Roth noting to a colleague that coming up with covers for who he'd been meeting with had become more challenging. An anonymous staffer replies, very boring business meeting that is definitely not about Trump. Winky face. Roth says pretty much. Then, quote, definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. Well, the Twitter files appear to prove the joke that he's making there. Here's how the White House's John Kirby responded to questions about Twitter's federal relationships.
We aren't directing private social media companies on how to manage their content. These are decisions that they have to make as appropriate. Now, look, we obviously don't want to see, the public square polluted with hate speech and disinformation. That's not a good use of the information environment for the American people. But it's up to these social media companies to determine how they're going to manage their content, how they are going to deliver that content to their users.
Now, Taibbi has shared that internal documents suggest that Twitter executives not only met with the FBI, but also DHS and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Guys.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. I believe that was all part of a task force that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Members of the Trump administration would meet with the social media companies and big tech once a week with the FBI, the DHS, the cyber infrastructure people, all people talking about, we don't know what's going to come, but generally we think something's going to drop in October or November before the election.
Well, what's interesting when you read his tweets that just dropped over the weekend or on Friday, he talks about this. Yes, he talks about Yoel Roth, the guy who was for trust and safety, right? And he speaks in code about these meetings. So he obviously doesn't want the public to know or anyone to know what they were actually doing. Obviously, it was secretive. And they knew that this would be a red flag for all of us. And that's why he spoke in code to reveal these meetings and laughing about it and making fun of it. So that was alarming to me. Like, he obviously knows he doesn't want us to know about the FBI, the DHS, and DNI.
There's so much alarming in this fourth tranche, as well as the first three. What's also alarming is nobody else is covering it. But it's so unbelievable that the FBI feels compelled. How high it goes, we don't know, to insert themselves to brief these social media companies. You can only imagine what's happening at Facebook, knowing that Steve Hilton chronicled brilliantly last night how many people have left Facebook, left the CIA and FBI and gone to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
It's where the money is.
Well, you could go to where the money is, but the relationships there that exist, and also the executive that left Twitter that is now as part of the Biden administration and one of their consultancies with social media. But when you look at what Taibbi and Mike Schnellenberger has done, also what they did to Donald Trump. So January 6th is one thing, and what they did after is one thing. But what they were doing prior and the criteria they were using, which was arbitrary and we don't like him, is unbelievable. They went out of their way to diminish the things that got him elected in 2016. They went out of their way to make sure social media would not be an instrument of use. And Twitter in particular is the first to be unmasked. The other thing that's very fascinating is Elon Musk says he picked his pronouns, and it's indict Fauci, or what else he brought up? Prosecute Fauci, because the other thing is that they politicized COVID-19, but they did it in an insidious way, squelching esteemed doctors and professionals for their beliefs about what may or not work and what may or may not be effective for kids and for adults. Unbelievable what has taken place.
Also, 2 years ago, we were telling you about that statue, the Christopher Columbus statue in Philadelphia, that the woke mayor did not like it. He wanted it taken down. And so they covered it up. You can see there it's covered up with the green and white and red Italian flag over it. They covered it with this plywood box.
It's a plywood box.
Exactly. But there's a judge that ruled on Friday, Judge Mary Hannah Levitt. She said the city has a duty now to take down that plywood box. It needs to be removed, and the statue can stay.
Well, just remember, it was the summer of 2020 when suddenly all across the country people were saying, hey, we got to take down the statue. We got to remove it and stuff
during
like that.
All those protests.
You're right. That is in Marconi Park in central Philadelphia. That's Christopher Columbus. Last year...
First, a warning, anybody who's woke, you're going to be triggered if you look at this. So we ask you, like it's an eclipse, cover your eyes, all right? Or get special glasses.
Listen, obviously the judges were not triggered because it was a year ago where a judge reversed the city because the city said, this has got to go. And then they put a restraining order and they said, you know what, until we take it down, let's cover it with a box. Well, last year, a judge reversed the city and said that the city failed to provide enough evidence that removal was necessary to protect the public. And then over the weekend, Judge Mary Hannah Leavitt had a ruling, and she looked at, you know, when we get stuff as a city, we've got to protect it. And she wrote, more to the point, the city of Philadelphia accepted the donation of the Columbus statue back in 1876. It has a fiduciary duty to preserve that statue, which is designated an historic object back in 2017. The Columbus statue is not city property, as is, for example, a city snowblower. So the statute stands, the box is coming off, and we'll find out just exactly how many other towns across the country how many other towns are now going to say, you know what, we can put the statue back. We took it down.
He said, if you have a problem with it, put something on a plaque underneath it. This guy, Mayor Jim Kinney, is such an embarrassment to this country. He is allowing his city to be destroyed by crime and destruction, while saying there's no problem here, nothing to see here, while focusing on boxing up Columbus statues.
His spokesperson said this: "We are very disappointed in the court's ruling. We continue to believe that the Christopher Columbus statue, which has been a source of controversy in Philadelphia, should be removed from its current position. While we respect this decision, we will also continue to explore our options for a way forward that allows Philadelphians to celebrate their heritage and culture while respecting the histories and circumstances of everyone's different backgrounds."
Right, one by one, let's unbox and put things back to where they were. Unbelievable.
So that's what's going on in the city of brotherly love.
All right, meanwhile, 10 minutes after the hour, a suspect will appear in court today in the United States over the in the U.S. over the 1988 Lockerbie bombing that killed 190 Americans. The family of victims calling for justice 34 years after the attack.
And travel flight mares, passengers stranded for hours on grounded planes. Oh, that's so frustrating. We're going to tell you why.
Where can you holiday shop for less and experience a whole lot more? Lowe's, actually. Get our best deals of the holidays backed by the Lowe's Price Promise.
After years of chasing the big Idaho potato truck, I finally caught it. Oh man, always look for the grown in Idaho seal. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. As we celebrate Christmas, you may wonder if Jesus Christ can make a difference in your life. You bet he can. That's why he came, to save us from our sins. Jesus was born to die. He came to earth as a babe, took our sins to the cross 33 years later. He died on the cross, and God raised him to life. On the third day, he's not dead, he's alive. If you've never put your faith and trust in him, you can do that right now. Just pray this prayer with me. Just say, "Dear God, I've made a wreck of my life. I'm sorry for my sins, and I ask you to forgive me. I believe that Jesus Christ is your Son. I want to trust him as my Savior and follow him as my Lord from this day forward. Amen." If you prayed that prayer, call that number that's on the screen. We've got someone who'd like to speak with you right now. Give them a call. God bless you, and a Merry Christmas to each and every one.
First psoriasis, then psoriatic arthritis.
Even walking was tough.
I had to do something. I started Cosentyx.
Cosentyx can help you move, look, and feel better by treating the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Watch me.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Tucker Carlson tonight.
It'll be a different day, but our position on the world will remain unchanged.
Don't miss a minute. Weeknights on Fox News Channel.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sonobello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad.
feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went in a different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime. And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
It feels good to feel good and look good. The mommy belly is gone.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-893-5269 or go to sonobello.com.
Allergens, viruses, bacteria. Dangers to your breathing. Get My Pure Mist Ultra Pure Steam Inhaler. Boom, it's on. Germs destroyed, droplets and allergens terminated in their tracks. Pure effective steam making your sinuses happy. Whoa, breathing again. More than 1,000 5 stars on Amazon, so approved by you. My Pure Mist, the best thing to happen to breathing, period. And yeah, all the best retailers have it. Do it.
6:15 now here in New York City. We're learning more about the man accused of making the bomb that destroyed Pan Am Flight 103 back in 1988, which killed 270 people. He is appearing in court later today to face justice in the United States for the first time.
The man allegedly behind the terror attack is a former Libyan intel operative who was also an expert at making explosive devices.
And Todd Perino joins us with more. Todd?
Steve, Ainsley, and Brian, good morning. It has been nearly 34 years since Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. Now, Abu Aguila Mohammed Massoud will face justice after he was accused of building the bomb that killed 270 people, including 190 Americans. The suspect now in U.S. custody after 2 years of negotiations. He was previously in prison in Libya on separate charges. Massoud will be the only one of 3 people charged in connection to the attack to take the stand in an American courtroom. Family of those victims reacting to the news. Brother of a victim says while he is grateful, he is looking for answers to Iran's potential involvement. Listen.
It's more than just Libya. There is no question, Eric, in my mind, that Iran was involved. And if we had used intelligence information all along, we would have come to this conclusion years ago.
The Justice Department has confirmed that Massoud will make his first appearance in court on U.S. soil later today in Washington. Back to you.
Finally, some justice for those families. Thank you very much, Todd.
Yeah, he already admitted to building the bomb. He was in Libyan custody since 2020. We named him. Bill Barr signed off on it, on his extradition. And I guess Libya is divided into 2 governments now because we did such a great job in that 2011 operation. So they're divided in 2, and one of them just said, okay, you could have him if you want. We want good cooperation with America.
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what happened because, while the U.S. media today is saying it's unclear how the U.S. negotiated his extradition, in the Washington Post, a story just crossed 55 minutes ago that said that U.S. officials would not say how we came into the custody of this guy. However, last month, Libyan local media reported that this guy had been kidnapped from his house. And next thing you know, he is in Washington, D.C., so you can connect the dots yourself at home.
Yeah, he was in Libyan custody at the time when we charged him back in 2020. Not sure why it took so long to charge him, but nevertheless, he is one of 3 Libyan intelligence officials that are charged in this attack here in the United States, and he's going to be the first to appear in an American courtroom. There were citizens from 21 different countries on that plane that died.
And, one of the terrible stories, and we all remember it, it was close to 34 years ago. It was Christmas week in 1988. And then suddenly a news flash on television about how this jet had fallen out of the sky over Lockerbie, Scotland. And it wasn't until later we realized it was a bomb. But nonetheless, there were a couple of dozen students from Syracuse University who had spent the fall studying abroad and were coming home for Christmas. And they all perished along with everybody else. And 11 people on the ground there in Lockerbie, Scotland. You can see that big hole in the ground where the jet came down.
Well, we have the sister of someone who died on the plane. Richard Minetti was the one who was killed, and his sister will be coming up on the show in about an hour.
Absolutely. All right, 6:18 now. Time for some news from our southern border.
That's right. Good morning, Steve Ainsley. Brian, starting at the southern border, a shocking new video of the border showing long lines of migrants waiting to be taken into custody by Border Patrol after entering the United States illegally. More than 1,000 migrants are believed to have crossed in that group alone, making it one of the largest mass crossings this year. It comes as lawmakers say the border crisis has now turned into a catastrophe. With a record number of crossings so far this year, we've seen nearly 2.4 million encounters at our southern border. And in Boston, passengers are stranded on grounded planes as bad weather causes major flight delays. Travelers on multiple Delta flights at Boston Logan International Airport say they've been held on planes for hours before takeoff. Reports claim at least 36 flights have been canceled this morning as some passengers camp out at the airport, claiming there's no available hotel reservations nearby. It's the worst situation there. Delta has not yet commented on the unfolding incident. A new report is warning Americans are warning Americans to brace for millions of job losses in the new year. The 2023 Outlook report from Citi Global Wealth Investments predicts the unemployment rate to climb to 5.2%, resulting in a loss of 2 million jobs. Economists are predicting the Federal Reserve will help trigger a recession by further raising interest rates in an attempt to fight inflation. To the NFL we go, starting with the last pick of this year's NFL draft. Brock Purdy leading the 49ers to a stunning 35-7 win over Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Over in Buffalo, the Bills beat AFC East rival the Jets 22-12, and Patrick Mahomes showcasing his superb passing skills in the Chiefs' 34-28 win over the Broncos.
Mahomes, he'll just chuck it ahead, and it's caught. McKinnon has that next gear. Touchdown on a full sprint to the end zone.
He wasn't even looking when he threw the ball, and the guy ended up catching it. The Ravens edging out the Steelers 16-14 to stay on top of the AFC North, and Jalen Hurts continues to make his case for MVP as the Eagles beat the Giants 48-22. Those are your headlines, guys. Over to you.
That did not go well for the Giants.
Did
not.
No.
Was not.
I was thinking of Jillian. I bet Jillian was so excited.
They look unbelievable, the Eagles.
It went great for my Chiefs, just saying. Yep. They look fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Carly. All right, coming up on this Monday, frustration and anxiety felt on the University of Idaho campus. Why investigators are still urging the public to stay vigilant nearly a month since 4 students were murdered. That's coming up.
This question is brought to you by Christian Healthcare Ministries. What does a health cost-sharing program from Christian Healthcare Ministries offer? Is it A, options for pre-existing conditions, B, freedom to choose healthcare providers, C, affordable programs for various needs and lifestyles, D, all of the above? The answer after this commercial message.
What if there was a community of like-minded people ready to support you when you need it most? Christian Healthcare Ministries is an organization with over 40 years of trusted care who understands the importance of family. A group that sees you for who you are, regardless of your health history, offering values-based, affordable healthcare cost solutions. Learn more today at yourchm.org about healthcare that puts you in control.
What does a health cost-sharing program from Christian Healthcare Ministries offer? The answer is D, all of the above. Go to yourchm.org to learn more today about healthcare that puts you in control. This program is brought to you by Christian Healthcare Ministries. Learn more about healthcare that puts you in control.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm passing those savings directly on to you. You can get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's best cotton. It's grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. I know my sheets are perfect for you, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee for Christmas until March 1st, 2023, making them the perfect gifts for your friends, your family, and everyone you know. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent urgent need to urinate day and night? I have good news. Presenting the UroLift system, an outpatient treatment that simply reopens the channel to increase flow with no cutting. Yes.
Most side effects are mild to moderate. Serious bleeding and infection events are rare. Visit urolift.com.
Ask your urologist about UroLift or call 800-752-1100 today.
As we get older, our body starts to deteriorate. The only way you can keep it fresh is to rejuvenate it, but you can't eat enough fruits and vegetables. I believe Balance in Nature works because I've seen it work. There has been a change in my workouts, and you want to keep going, take Balance in Nature, because that's what I'm going to do. I'll take it forever.
As a special holiday offer, get $25 off plus a free fiber and spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code Fox News.
When you get a chip in your windshield, trust Safelite. This couple was headed to the farmer's market. When they got a chip, they drove to Safelite for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them. That's service the way you need it.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Tomorrow marks 1 month since 4 University of Idaho students were murdered, and police still have not named a suspect, weapon, or a motive. The public is now urged to stay vigilant. One student who's feeling frustrated and anxious for her safety on campus says, quote, pepper spray isn't exactly the kind of thoughtful roommate gift you think you need until it's attached to your keychain, weighing you down with the truth of your new reality. Forensics expert Joseph Scott Morgan joins us now. Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. You know, we've been so fascinated with this story. We want to find out who did this. Why is it taking so long?
Well, you have to consider this evidence is multi-layered. You know, you have evidence that predates the actual event, because you remember this location was actually known as what they've termed as a party house. So you're going to have a lot of partial DNA evidence there, commonly known as touch DNA. That they're going to have to suss through, you know, because you had all of these people, even from the periphery, that were coming in to visit this location on a regular basis. And then you have anybody that was indwelling in that house that had intimate relationships. There's going to be, you know, probably whole source DNA evidence there as well. And then, of course, you have the evidence that's left behind from that night, this very rich DNA evidence that's probably derived from blood. And we're just talking about DNA at this point. We haven't even spoken about trace evidence, hair, latent fingerprints, any kind of tool marks that may have been left behind. So there is an incredible volume of evidence here to be sussed through.
So last week we learned about the white Hyundai Elantra that they said, if anyone's seen this, you know, please let us know. Police said over the weekend that they have a lot of good tips now. And they also said, we want to remind the public to stay vigilant, travel in groups, and communicate with family and friends as you travel. Well, when I heard that, I thought, well, that's what they always say. But does that mean, I started thinking about it, does that mean they might suspect that the killer, or they know that the killer might be in the area still?
Yeah, we don't really know what they suspect right now, but I do know this. This is a savage attack. And so, yeah, you should remain vigilant at this location on this campus, because you don't know where this person is. At least no information has been provided to this point. And yeah, an individual that would do this, and keep in mind, I worked for the coroner in New Orleans and for the ME in Atlanta for many, many years before I was a professor. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever recall, even in 2 locations that are pretty good size like that, where I had a quadruple sharp force injury related event in one single residence like this. This is kind of an outlier. So that kind of emphasizes how unusual this case is, particularly in this little small town.
I know when anyone passes away, the coroner's office comes to, the coroner or one of the deputies comes to your house. They take pictures, no matter what the situation is, even if it's, you know, someone who died of old age. What would you have done in this case if you were the coroner or you were one of the forensics experts that was working this case?
Well, first off, none of the items within that dwelling would have been released yet. It still would have been locked down. You know, when you compare this case, for instance, and I've drawn this analogy a couple of times, you think about Parkland. They knew who Nicholas Cruz was, and I think we can all remember that. They kept that location locked down for years and years. They had fencing up around the place, had locked all the doors down. They even took the jury up there, and they could still see it kind of in a pristine state. We don't even know who this person is, and they're allowing so-called sentimental items to go out the door. And once they're gone, you can't get them back. And, you know, that's problematic for me personally. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but that's a problem for me. You should keep it locked down. What's it going to hurt? I don't understand what the urgency is.
Yeah, I'm not an expert either, but I was questioning that too. Wait, we don't even know who this guy is, and they're going to already clean out the house. Do you think we'll find this person?
Yeah, I think there's a high probability, and I'm a science guy, so I'd like to follow the science here and think that there is some kind of trace that's left behind. Remember, we talked about just a second ago how savage this case was. Many times when you have a sharp force injury death like this, a homicide that's so brutal and so very frenzied, one of the things that happens is that the perpetrator will actually cut themselves. So you have this commingling of DNA, biological evidence at the scene. And also, this is something else to think about. We didn't really know at the beginning what the sleeping position was for anybody in this residence. You have to understand, we've got two sets of people that are essentially co-sleeping together. In my mind, at least, that would mean that the perpetrator would have had to have actually got into the bed and begun to attack them. So you have a huge opportunity for there to be transfer evidence at the scene from the perpetrator to the victims and the surrounding area.
Yeah, I mean, you just think if you're going to murder in such a brutal way, 4 people, somehow someone saw something, someone knows something, there was blood or something there, and maybe it's just going to take a little bit more time, but hopefully we'll catch this person. Thank you so much for coming on. Very fascinating.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. A Fox weather alert. A coast-to-coast storm impacting millions of people. We are tracking the incredible snow totals. The rain is moving east. And attention, all Twitter bots. Elon Musk has a warning for you, Stuart Varney, on the major changes to the platform. Coming on in. Hey, Stuart.
So no one else can see. Secret, I've got a secret. My true identity.
Some of the best traditions start under a tree. It's where we gather as a family. It's where we experience the excitement of opening day. It's where we caught our personal bests. And this tree is where it all began. This Christmas, start traditions under your tree. Shop now for special savings on gifts for the whole family, in-store and online. Bass Pro Shops, celebrating 50 years of Christmas memories under your tree.
Hiring is step 1 when it comes to our growth. We can't open a new shop or a new location without the right people in place. I couldn't keep up until I found ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps us get out there quickly and get us qualified candidates quickly. They sent us applicants that matched what I was looking for. I've hired for every role, entry-level technicians, service advisors, store managers. ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
ZipRecruiter, rated the #1 hiring site. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Fox.
For adults with generalized myasthenia gravis, who are positive for acetylcholine receptor antibodies, it may feel like the world is moving without you. But the picture is changing with Vyvgart. In a clinical trial, participants achieved improved daily abilities with Vyvgart added to their current treatment. And Vyvgart helped clinical trial participants achieve reduced muscle weakness. Vyvgart may increase the risk of infection. In a clinical study, the most common infections were urinary tract and respiratory tract infections. Tell your doctor if you have a history of infections or if you have symptoms of an infection. Vyvgart can cause allergic reactions. The most common side effects include respiratory tract infection, headache, and urinary tract infection. Picture your life in motion with Vyvgart, a treatment designed using a fragment of an antibody. Ask your neurologist if Vyvgart could be right for you.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my original My Slippers are back in stock. Last Christmas, you made them the #1 selling MyPillow product, and now I've added smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new colors. And with your promo code, you still save $90 a pair. What makes My Slippers different is my exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere. You'll absolutely love My Slippers, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gifts ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen now. Use your promo code to save $90 on my original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
We're here today right outside Colorado Springs to welcome home DT and his family here in the beautiful smart home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has just completed.
I got hurt December 2005 in Afghanistan. And that day, we're out on a mission, and I got hit by an IED while I was in my truck. Today, we're in my home that Tunnel to Tower built for me. A smart home is someone that's disabled like myself, kind of makes their lives a little easier. The thought that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage.
We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month. This is where your money's going, and this is what we're doing with it.
You know, some of us came back, some of us didn't, and thank God for organizations like Tunnel Towers, able to be there to help us when we need it.
Here's a quote, calling all bots and trolls. Elon Musk challenging fake Twitter accounts, promising to shut down scammers ahead of relaunch of Twitter Blue today. Users can subscribe for a blue check mark for either $8 on the web or $11 on iOS. Musk also confirming to increase the maximum tweet length limit from 280 to 4,000 characters. I mean, it's good. Yeah, that's a totally different website. Yeah. Here to react, the host of Varney & Company, American Built, on Fox Business. More on that later. Stuart Varney. Stuart, first off, we're going to have to shell out some money if we want our blue check marks.
Yes, $8 a month. I mean, if you're using an iPhone, I think it's $11 a month. If you do a business show, if you're commenting on business news, you cannot ignore Elon Musk. He makes headlines every single day. He loves to be the center of attention. He's a major leagues disruptor. He's got 3 headlines today. First of all, as you suggested, he's going to reform or revamp Twitter Blue. It launches today. $8 a month, $11 if you've got an iPhone. 280 characters? No, 4,000 characters. So that's the revamp of Twitter Blue. Okay, fair enough. That's just a technical thing. The second headline is Musk says he wants his personal pronouns, he's stated his pronouns, prosecute Fauci. Yeah. And he promises more to come from the COVID files. That could be a blockbuster. That's a huge headline. But the biggest of all, in my opinion, is he says that these Twitter files show that Michelle Obama had a hand in getting Trump dumped from Twitter. Can you believe that?
January 6th, he made sure that you have to ban him right away. Well, I thought she was not involved in politics. I thought she was like above it. She was just in a garden. She doesn't want to be a... What is she putting her hand on the scale for?
But these files reveal conversations between Twitter executives and government officials. As if in some way the government is weekly meetings. They're saying, hey, how about this? How about that? Why you do this, do that? That's collusion of the highest order. Some would say conspiracy to defraud voters of the information they need right before an election.
And I imagine some of these doctors, the Stanford doctors and others that have been banned and been suspended, they're filing lawsuits. They want to get to the bottom of this anyway, regardless whether Elon Musk bought it or not.
I'd like to see what happens when Facebook comes clean, if they ever do come clean about what's been manipulated there. But what you've got here is big government, big media, and Twitter executives all getting together to conspire to deprive voters of political information right before an election. That is a blockbuster.
Right.
And Musk is right in the middle of this thing. Now, look, some people say he's distracted by what's going on at Twitter and that he's not taking care of Tesla. I think the man should be given a medal. Case closed.
Right. He wants to put your chips in brains. He also wants to get you to space, and he also wants you to drive an electric car. Meanwhile, he also wants to purify social media. Besides that, that's a pretty big thing to do list on a daily basis. So American Built, I'm sure that Elon Musk watches. Who knows? He's going to be featured on it sooner or later.
Yes, he is.
Who do you have this week?
Bay Area Rapid Transit, 9 o'clock tonight. BART, the San Francisco Bay Area Rapid Transit System. How they built an extensive system in earthquake country.
Yeah, by the way, we can't play the clip. I have to pay you $8 to pay this clip, or is it still free for today?
It's free for today.
All right, so let's watch.
They didn't know what the answer was then. They were inventing it.
They were developing technologies as they went.
How they built the BART.
There were so many times when it could have gone south.
The Bay Area Rapid Transit.
9 o'clock tonight on Fox Business.
When the Bay Area was actually working. It's not right now.
Back in the day.
All right, Stuart, I look forward to seeing all your shows.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Meanwhile, the President Freedom Fighter, thanks so much to everyone in St. Louis for coming out. Unbelievable night at the Missouri Athletic Club. I'll be in New Jersey on Friday with Dana Perino, who I've met in person before. She is really nice. At the at Point Pleasant. Go check it out, BrianKilmeade.com. And Saturday in McAllen, Texas. Visit our great station over there. 2 planes to get there, but I'm not complaining. But meanwhile, Carly Shimkus is upstairs, and she's safe.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Brian. That sounds like a great event, you and Dana together.
It should be
Two
fantastic.
of the nicest people. Absolutely. Got to get to some headlines here, starting with this. The search is intensifying for an American student gone missing while studying abroad in France. The parents of Kenny Denauld Jr. say they last heard from their son on November 27th after he left the home of his host family and was headed to Valencia, France. His parents say he seemed off during their last conversation, saying he didn't want to go to class, which they say was very much unlike him. French investigators are calling it, quote, a worrying disappearance. A retired Navy SEAL who garnered fame after coming out as transgender is now detransitioning. Chris Beck, who was going by Kristen Beck, says the process has destroyed his life. He is now raising awareness of the dangers of trans health services, saying, quote, there are thousands of gender clinics being put up over all of America, and as soon as kids go in and say, I'm a tomboy, and then a psychologist says, oh, you're transgender, and then the next day you're on hormones. This is why I am trying to tell America to wake up. How about that? A First Amendment lawsuit by a former Virginia Tech soccer player against her coach is given the go-ahead by a judge. Kirsten Henning's lawsuit claims the coach benched her and made her want to quit the team because she refused to kneel while listening to a Black Lives Matter unity statement before a 2020 game. Henning also accused the coach of berating her at halftime at the game. She quit the team a little more than a week after that incident. Morocco fans are celebrating a big World Cup win this weekend. It's a history-making victory, becoming the first African team to reach the semifinals. Morocco's coach comparing his players to one of the greatest underdog stories ever.
You watch Rocky, you want to support Rocky Balboa because of his heart and commitment, and I think we're the Rocky of this World Cup.
Morocco takes on France on Wednesday, but first, Argentina faces Croatia tomorrow. Catch all the action on Fox, of course. Those are your headlines. Brian, over to you.
Right. If you would do me a favor, Carly, would you call Sylvester Stallone, because he's the friend of the show?
You see how he feels about it?
And have him to comment on Morocco talking about his character.
I was curious about that as well. Brian, I am on it.
All right. Actually, you can go then. If you were actually on the story, you would leave the scene.
Okay. You're right. You're right. Bye. I'm doing it right now. Getting on the
Thank
horn.
you. Appreciate it. Now to a Fox News alert. A winter mega storm from California is making its way to the East Coast after more than 21 inches of snow hit parts of the Golden State. The storm already hitting areas of Colorado and Wisconsin on its way to the East Coast. Yesterday, parts of New York began to see flurries and winter weather advisories. I'm one of those people who saw flurries. They were issued as areas of the Northeast, as the snow could cause dangerous traveling conditions, especially the first one. We're used to summer still. Let's check in with Adam Klotz. He does weather.
Yes, I do, Brian. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. A lot of folks are going to be seeing it in the week ahead, as pretty much of the country is going to be seeing that one system sweep entirely across it. Let's dive right in. Look at the satellite and radar. There were some flurries across the Northeast yesterday, kind of winding down.
Shipping. This offer will not last, so call now.
Call 800-848-1243. Again, that's 800-848-1243.
Fox Nation's once-a-year sale with 50% off all yearly plans for a limited time.
When I read what it took for Yellowstone to be here so that we could all enjoy it, I realized that this was a story that I suddenly wanted to share.
I say when I'm done, not them.
They had unboundless, unlimited optimism.
We fixing to get filthy, stinking rich, boys.
Fox Nation, they give you the power.
Our team embedded with Kid Rock.
There's only one thing in my life now that really matters.
Sign up and start streaming today.
Welcome back. Got some headlines here, starting with this. Officers are fleeing New York City and heading to smaller areas as crime in the Big Apple continues to soar. The city of Danbury, Connecticut, about 50 miles north of New York City, reportedly welcomed 6 new NYPD officers just last week. Officers citing higher pay and a lot less crime as their reason for the move. It is the latest wave of officers leaving the force. As of November, about 1,200 officers have resigned. And speaking of police, the NYPD is showing off the force's most adorable four-legged heroes in their 2023 Canine and Friends calendar. It shows off the horses of the NYPD mounted unit and their canine crime fighters who serve on the front lines every day. All proceeds from the calendar will benefit the new and ongoing Police Foundation programs and initiatives. How cool is that? Guys, outside to you.
Very cool. And from cool to cold, it's 30 degrees outside. But we're here for an important reason, because with less than 2 weeks, watch your eyebrows, Brian. Right. With less than 2 weeks until Christmas, it's time to be making your list and checking it twice. Our next guest is here to help you finish your shopping with gifts for the whole family that you can get by Christmas.
And joining us with his picks for any age and any budget, home contractor Skip Bedell and his beautiful wife Allison, in her dress that you bought her. Got
That's right. That's right.
Look at this Christmas dress.
That's right. So this is all Walmart stuff over here, and that dress actually came from Walmart. So look how great it looks.
He surprised me on Saturday night. He came home. Really cute. He came home with the dress.
But she can make a paper bag look good, though, Ainsley. I mean,
and the thing about Walmart is America's biggest store, and then so it's subsequently America's biggest toy store.
It really is. It really is.
The prices are the best. They have the best prices on everything. Everything's less than 50% off other retailers with these toys. Everything here is less than $50. This is from the list from the kids for the kids. They make the list of the toys that they want the most. Right. You can get everything here. You can walk into the store. You can order it online, have it delivered to you at the curb, have it delivered to your house in 2 hours, have it to you in 1 day, 2 days. There's so many options. You can get everything that you need in time for Christmas.
They still have an easy bake oven?
Yeah.
Yes.
They got the Barbie tie-dye set, the Huffy bicycle. That bicycle, by the way, requires no tools to put together. It just snaps together.
We put it together in 5 minutes.
If you have a little girl, Gabby's Dollhouse, that's huge.
Gabby's Dollhouse is amazing.
And these magic Mixies.
They love that. The cauldron and the Lego race car. The kids go wild for all these gifts.
Bluey.
Yeah, they really did a great job this year. It's something for everyone, and it's also really good prices.
And everything for the family, too. You know, there's the Dutch oven, there's things for your hair.
and something for your dog.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, it's a charcuterie board for your car.
And
for your
dog. And these are
that?
silk scrunchies.
For your dog.
How cute is that?
The silk scrunchies are great because they don't damage your hair, which brings me on to the next products that we're going to have from Fisher's Finery. These are silk. We love their silk pillowcases. I sleep on their pillowcases for the last 4 or 5 years. They have everything in a beautiful box, already wrapped up for you. The best thing that I love about the silk pillowcase is that it doesn't damage your hair. When you go to sleep, you wake up looking just like this.
Right, and I also heard it's good to prevent wrinkles.
Yeah, it's great to prevent wrinkles and to prevent the bedhead. It's
I needed those 30 years ago.
I know. It's great for the guys who don't know what to get for their wives. Believe it or not, this is a really great gift
it
for
really
the
is.
ladies.
It's great. This is the ones that I use. They got pajamas and the boxers for the men. They have something for everybody on that website. Fisher's Finery.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
What do you got?
have over here?
I got some cool stuff, man. Listen, for the adventurers, the campers, the preppers, the survivors, right? We got 4 Patriots, and I love all the stuff they have. Everything I'm going to show you here is solar powered. So this is their solar powered sidekick. As you see, it's very, very lightweight. This is basically a solar generator. So you can run your refrigerator, your lights. It has USB ports, but the best part is this cool little pack opens up into a solar panel, and it recharges the generator by solar. So you can run it right in your house. Like this runs a few $100s on their website. I have links to everything. Your house? Yeah, you can keep it right in the house because there's no fuel, no fumes, no exhaust. So this will power up your place in the case of an emergency, and it packs up into a really nice kit. This makes a fantastic gift. Solar lantern. This runs for 12 hours. I love it. It's very, very bright. It has a couple of settings. It even has dance mode, right? So, it has SOS mode, which is fantastic. This is a great work light. They're flashlights, so this is one of my favorites. Solid aluminum tactical flashlight. It's waterproof. It has a hammer. It has a glass breaker if you keep it in your glove box in a car. A seatbelt cutter. Very powerful flashlight. And if you notice, again, solar panels built into the flashlight. Totally waterproof, and even a compass on the end. So this is a great stocking stuffer. And finally, from 4 Patriots, this is their solar power cell. So basically, this you keep on the dashboard of your car.
My wife's got one of those.
It's fantastic, Steve. I love this.
So what does it do?
You just keep it on the dash. It stays charged all the time. Then you can put it in your pocket and say you go into a stadium or a movie. Right. It gives you a full charge on your phone, your laptop. You plug it into the USB ports and you have a full charge for whatever you got.
Wow,
so just fantastic.
What's on fire over there?
This is, guys,
Solo stove.
Yeah, you've seen me talk about Solo Stove. It's the world's best fire pit. They're smokeless. So this is their brand new line. This is the Mesa. They're actually portable personal fire pits. So it comes in a little carry case, just the way you see it. They're lightweight, and what's nice about it, you load it up.
Some heat too.
It really does, right? You load it up with this little container. You put wood pellets in it.
Or you can put regular wood inside of there as well. Twigs, anything.
And now you can put this on top of your picnic table. You can take it with you to your tailgate. It's a personal portable fire pit.
And it's got the same 360 airflow that all their big fire pits have. So it's got the best, most efficient use of the heat.
I like the little fingers of flame.
Isn't it cool? Yeah, so what that is, Steve, the good point. So you see the holes all the way around the inside and the bottom. It has a double wall construction. It pulls the air up.
We're in the lightning round, 30 seconds.
All right, so let's roll through the last thing.
We love carved.
Carved.
We have on their bracelets. He has on their new bracelet.
Let me show you my EDC, my everyday carry. This is their phone case. This is made from burled wood and epoxy resin that they put together.
Show them this bracelet.
Matching knife set that goes with the phone case.
They have the Mount Everest bracelet this year. This is the full topography of Mount Everest. It's black American walnut.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff. If you look at these
This is their Roots collection where they have the all wood this year and all different types of wood, and also a clear resin with the wood on their phone cases and the chargers.
That's
and they
fantastic.
have the gift set.
I know on skippadel.com.
It's everything. 20% off.
I have special
20% off. Fox is the promo code.
Okay, so go to skippadel.com, and you're coming back a little later on.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to warm up in between.
Meanwhile, coming up on this Monday, we're going to tell you how to protect your packages from real-life Grinches this year. The steps you can take right now to prevent porch pirates.
You're a bad banana with a...
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my biggest bedding sale ever, just in time for Christmas. Get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98. A set of pillowcases, only $9.98. Rejuvenate your bed with a MyPillow mattress topper for as low as $99.99. We also have blankets in a variety of sizes, colors, and styles. We even have blankets for your pets. Get duvets, quilts, down comforters, body pillows, bolster pillows, and so much more, all at the biggest discounts ever. I know my bedding products are perfect for you, and I'm extending my money-back guarantee for Christmas until March 1st, 2023, making them the perfect gifts for your friends, your family, and everyone you know. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code, and you'll get huge discounts on all MyPillow bedding products, including my Giza Dream bed sheets, for as low as $29.98. Get all your shopping done now while quantities last.
My name is Vincent, and I've been in the field of nutrition and dietetics for 30 years. And what I realized as a nutritionist, I was trying to get all my fruits and vegetables in, but I would be so preoccupied with trying to do things, I would forget to eat. So all of a sudden, it's the end of the day, and I haven't had my fruits and vegetables. I think a lot of people are in that situation. I found Balance of Nature, and I looked at the ingredients, and I thought, this is exactly what I need. And so after trying it for about a week, I'm not a morning person, but I started getting up early, and I started feeling better because I had more energy. I think, of course, as a nutritionist, it's best to get all you can from your diet, but it wasn't until I started taking Balance of Nature that I started noticing a difference. So that's when I thought, okay, there's something about Balance of Nature that I need to tell the world about. So here I am.
As a special holiday offer, get $25 off plus a free fiber and spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code Fox News.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Remember.
Honor. Teach.
Sponsor a wreath today for placement on National Wreaths Across America Day, Saturday, December 17th. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org.
The Twitter files revealing meetings between the tech giant, the FBI, DHS, and the Director of National Intelligence, forcing top Biden administration officials into damage control mode.
We aren't directing social media companies on how to manage their content.
The man accused of making the bomb that killed 270 people over Lockerbie, Scotland, set to appear in court.
Pan Am Flight 103 blew up back in 1988, killing all on board.
Libya has turned this person over. We should get as much information from him as possible.
The border crisis completely out of control. More than 1,500 migrants crossing into El Paso, Texas last night.
Title 42 set to expire in just 11 days. Border states are bracing for massive numbers.
Winter weather on both coasts.
Very heavy snow in California. This is going to be one that's going to sweep the entire country. A major snowstorm over the next couple of days.
To the opposite side. Mahomes, he'll just chuck it ahead, and it's caught. McKinnon has the next year touchdown. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
I don't know what you did this weekend, but I hope it got you in the Christmas spirit. Look at our little virtual fireplace. It's so cute. Oh,
it's real.
Virtual.
It's a real fireplace.
Real fireplace down there in Studio M, right? That's Brian's office right there.
Yeah, Skip Bedell lit that fire. Oh, and look, our names are on the stockings, just like at the White House.
You asked for the pool, I asked for the fireplace.
That's right.
We both got it.
13 days till Christmas.
I know, y'all. We had Handel's Messiah here on the Upper East Side in New York this weekend.
Who's that?
Christmas parties at the church. You know the Handel's Messiah? Handel the composer.
Handel's Messiah.
You've never been to it?
No.
You should.
Christmas classic. Look how decked out our studio is. Hats off
so
to the stage
pretty.
crew. Beautiful. Put you in the... Look at this. Red and green everywhere.
And they had to get here early to rehearse too, right?
I am in the spirit. Are y'all in the spirit?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Christmas cards are out. Check that box. All the shopping. Mine is not complete. I'm going to check that box this week.
Well, I'll be heading out on Christmas Eve, as I always do. That's all you need.
You can go to the jewelry store.
Pep Boys is open late.
We could not get the whole family to sit down for a Christmas picture, so we hired models. And we they don't even look like us. And so if you get a Christmas tree,
really funny.
Yeah, we hired other people.
Actually, Brian, you're making a joke, but 1 year we took our photo to the local Walgreens. And the top picture, it said, Merry Christmas from the Duceys. And the top picture was a different family. The rest of them were all the Ducey family, but they had one where they had the image from the previous family said,
Did you have
Merry
enough
Christmas.
time to redo the card?
It was just one.
Oh,
one out of 100.
Oh.
And so that is the one we kept.
Put it on the refrigerator.
Well, some people are thinking about December 25th. Other people are thinking about December 12th. What's December 12th? Goodbye Title 42, which means pandemic over, no emergency measures needed. Come one, come all to our border. Let's just make more and more tents, have more and more border agents just get steamrolled. That's exactly what's happening. The fear was when Title 42 goes away, we're going to get 18,000 at the border. We're already up to 8. And what Bill Maloogian was reporting over the weekend makes you think it could even be worse than expected.
He's issued a series of tweets, and the first one we're going to show you is breaking an enormous mass of migrants have just crossed illegally into El Paso, Texas. There is now a massive line of migrants waiting to be taken into custody by Border Patrol, and more are coming. El Paso sector has had over 2,600 crossings in 24 hours, Friday through Saturday. Also, Bill detailed the fact that there were 20 buses full of migrants traveled to Ciudad Juarez, which is the Mexican city just across the river from El Paso. And then all the people from those 20 buses got out in Mexico and went to NGOs, non-governmental offices. And then they walked from the NGOs to the river and they crossed illegally. So in other words, he also detailed the fact that there were apparently a Mexican police escort the entire time. So the Mexican government is A-OK. In fact, they're facilitating, making this go smoother so that the thousands of people can get to the United States faster. Thanks, Mexico.
They said it's one of the largest mass crossings ever in that region. More than 1,500 migrants wading across the Rio Grande from Juarez into El Paso on Sunday night. And there was a young man in the middle of the group in the river that said, "Welcome to the United States," when they made it halfway through. He said, "You made it." Those 20 buses, they took them originally to shelters, then they start crossing the Rio Grande.
Just keep it.
The Rio Grande River. Go ahead, sir.
Just a couple of things. Kristen Sinema said over the weekend. What do you think about the border policy of this administration? Because they don't take it seriously. What does the administration ask for? We need $3 billion. Really? You need $3 billion to handle the big influx. They have no plan to replace Title 42. The Venezuelans last month were told, if you're from Venezuela, you got to remain in Mexico and don't come. Do you know it dropped 90% of Venezuelans coming to our border? It dropped 90% because the same Remain in Mexico policy that Donald Trump put into play was actually effective. They want to make more tents. They want to get more transportation. They want to get more gift packages to NGOs in order to get more people into our country illegally, making a mockery of our entire system. And then they're going to say Republicans want to play politics by ignoring the $3 billion request. No, Republicans know this is, for some odd reason, you think it's to our nation's advantage and your advantage to bring illegal immigrants into our country illegally.
Well, and keep in mind, it was just about 10 days ago that the president brought into the Roosevelt Room, brought in Kevin McCarthy, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck and Mitch, and just talked about what's going forward, trying to fund the government and all that other stuff in anticipation of the next Congress. And Kevin McCarthy did invite the president. He said, "Mr. President, you know what I'd like to take you down to the border. You're invited to go down." And the president said, "Well, what would I see?" And Kevin McCarthy explained. And then, of course, the next day, our White House correspondent asked if the president was going to RSVP. And then Karine Jean-Pierre immediately went to the stance we've heard a million times. Well, all these things down at the border are public relations photo ops and stuff like that. Tom Homan begs to differ. Listen to this.
This year we're going to break another record because this administration is not doing a single thing to slow the flow. The reason they're increasing now is because you got people up on Capitol Hill talking about amnesty. We got the biggest, the most historic illegal immigration crisis in history of this nation on our southern border, and you got senators and congressmen talking about amnesty. Haven't they seen over the last 3 decades, every time you talk about amnesty and DACA, that brings more. When President Obama created DACA, what happened after he did that? The next decade, you have hundreds of thousands of children crossing that border or family groups crossing that border, hoping to be the next DACA recipient. Yesterday's UAC, yesterday's family groups are tomorrow's DACA. They got to stop talking about rewarding illegal behavior, or they're never going to stop this.
What his point is, they say, well, we just want to, with the Democrats go, yeah, we just want to legalize the Dreamers, which is a Republican idea anyway. And what Tom Homan is saying that if you come here illegally with a 3 or 4-year-old, when you decide I'm going to legalize the Dreamers, those 4 to 6 million that have come over the last 2 years, they are part, those kids that come unaccompanied and accompanied, they'd be part of the Dreamer population. So it seemed like part of a major program and a compromise a while ago is a trap that Democrats are putting out there to incentivize more people to come here illegally.
I'm surprised they haven't actually done that, right? Since they have control of all bodies of government?
Yeah, but I think they would need the 60 votes in the Senate just to do it. Okay. And through an executive order, they could do it, but it could be challenged in reverse.
Well, they would need 60 votes to start in the Senate to start a debate about it. How that might turn out, who knows? But all we know is that if you are a migrant and you want to come to the United States, and listen, this is the greatest country on earth. I get why you want to come. I would, too, if I was living in one of those places down there where you're living in abject poverty. But the message from the administration has been so complicated because Kamala Harris, the president, have said don't come. And yet the coyotes and the cartels are saying, hey, look, they're saying don't come, but they want you to come. And people are coming, and they're coming in. It is just a mess.
The migrants that Bill Melugin was talking about that are coming over now are from Nicaragua, Peru, and Ecuador. And they say the shelters down in El Paso are stressed beyond capacity.
Right. And whatever happened to that Democratic El Paso mayor who saw that he should be loyal to his people, his town has been destroyed by illegals who have just used the sidewalk as their new home. They have stopped, because of administration pressure, allowing the busing of illegal immigrants to these big cities who seem to think they should be immune to all the Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and Washington. What happened to those buses that were coming here? Why do they stop? El Paso decides, okay, too much Democratic pressure. I'll just say, screw the people that live there. I'm just going to acquiesce to it.
Well, the last time we heard about a bus arriving here in New York, one of the comments from some of the people were, it's really cold here. Mm-hmm. Nobody said it was going to be that cold.
And expensive.
Expensive.
Chicago.
And so what they had to do is then the NGOs had to provide coats and housing. And it's just a great big ball of wax that is very, very complicated.
We've already like rented a whole hotel.
It is nutty.
All right, let's hand it over to Todd Perino now, who is reporting on, I believe, is it the Lockerbie?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
It's a day of justice.
Yeah. It has been nearly 34 years, as you know, since Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. Now, Abu Ajila Mohammed Massoud will face justice after he was accused of building the bomb that killed 270 people, including 190 Americans. The suspect now in U.S. custody after 2 years of negotiations. He was previously in prison in Libya on separate charges. Massoud will be the only one of 3 people charged in connection to the attack to take the stand in an American courtroom. The families of those victims reacting to the news. The brother of a victim says while he is grateful, he's looking for answers to Iran's potential involvement. Listen.
It's more than just Libya. There is no question, Eric, in my mind, that Iran was involved. And if we had used intelligence information all along, we would have come to this conclusion years ago.
The Justice Department has confirmed that Massoud will make his first appearance in court on U.S. soil later today in Washington. Finally, back to you.
Yeah, no kidding. And by the way, we're going to be speaking to the sister of one of the victims coming up in about 10 minutes. But we know that this guy, apparently he was Gaddafi's bomb maker. And in fact, he admitted in testimony that he built the bomb. He had been ordered by Libyan intel to build it. And after the airplane blew up, Muammar Gaddafi thanked him personally. So that's a Syrian indictment. And of course, we'll hear more throughout the morning here on Fox because he's showing up in court. Finally.
All right, Carly has some more headlines for us. Hey, Carly.
I certainly do. Starting out in Idaho, the latest there. It has been 4 weeks since the horrific deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Another student from the school described life after the attack, saying, quote, "I am frustrated, anxious for my safety, saddened and heartbroken for these families." Over the weekend, the school held their winter commencement ceremony. Moscow police encouraged people to travel in groups and stay vigilant as the killer is still on the loose. Police in Oregon are worried the state's new gun law may extend to police officers. Authorities say they don't know if they'll be able to purchase new weapons while off duty if the state moves forward with its new restrictions on guns and magazines. The law would limit the possession of magazines in excess of 10 rounds, which all officers' weapons currently contain. Police say this could affect how officers can protect themselves. Elon Musk sending out some new tweets this morning, including a follow-up on his prosecute Fauci pronoun jab, saying truth resonates. He also confirmed that all this will be explained in a new release of Twitter files, which could come as soon as today. The tweets come after Musk invited blacklisted Stanford professor Jay Bhattacharya to Twitter's headquarters. Here's what the doctor had to say after learning about his censorship over lockdown criticism.
There's no doubt in my mind that there was a significant government effort to suppress discussion about COVID policy that contradicted government policy, and it would not surprise me at all to learn that the Twitter's blacklisting of me was in response to something the government was telling Twitter to do.
We have already seen 4 volumes of Twitter files released detailing years of politically motivated censorship. And in the UK, Charles and Camilla releasing their first Christmas card as King and Queen consort. It features a photo of the royals from September and includes well wishes in the holiday season. Meanwhile, a pub in London is going after Prince Harry, releasing a new brand of beer called Harry's Bitter. A Twitter user says the beer only contains 3.9% alcohol. The new beer was in reference to Harry and Meghan's recent Netflix documentary. Part 2 of that documentary will be released this week. A lot of reaction to that documentary.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not a lot of it good.
We got to get the label to see. Is Harry on the Harry's Bitter label?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. But the name of the beer speaks for itself.
No kidding.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually want to watch it.
I know. I heard you saying that before. That's interesting.
I did. The first one, I liked them both. And then as it progressed, it got more and more political.
Right.
So
Shocking. I mean, I heard they look so self-obsessed.
Yeah.
And yet they want to be out of the spotlight. That's why they're like royalty.
You kind of understand you like them in the first episode, but as it gets more and more political, you're like...
I saw the Oprah interview. I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm so glad I was not born into royalty.
Carly,
but I'm so glad you were born.
Yes, thank you. And again, by the way, great book. Congratulations on this success. Let's see you full screen.
What's coming up, Brian?
Oh, funny you bring that up. My name's on this. Coming up, Senator Sinema may not find support from fellow independent Bernie Sanders because Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich saw Bernie interviewed yesterday. He wants to talk about it.
And move over, Grinch. Porch pirates are trying to ruin Christmas.
With the eye patch.
Kurt the Cyber Guy has tips to protect your packages on the porch and every place else. Are we listening to Alvin?
This is a glimpse into the not-too-distant future of Lincoln. It's what sanctuary could look like, feel like, sound like, even smell like. More on that soon. The best part? The prequel is pretty sweet, too.
As we get older, our body starts to deteriorate. And the only way you can keep it fresh is to rejuvenate it, but you can't eat enough fruits and vegetables. I believe balance in nature works because I've seen it work. There has been a change in my workouts, and you want to keep going, take balance in nature, because that's what I'm going to do. I'll take it forever.
As a special holiday offer, get $25 off plus a free fiber and spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code Fox News.
For the visionaries. For the trailblazers. For the last to leave. and the first to think ahead. There's Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry, with access to trained experts and 24/7 support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if there was a community of like-minded people ready to support you when you need it most? Christian Healthcare Ministries is an organization with over 40 years of trusted care who understands the importance of family. A group that sees you for who you are, regardless of your health history, offering values-based, affordable healthcare cost solutions. Learn more today at yourchm.org about healthcare that puts you in control.
Mass General Brigham. When you need some of the brightest minds in medicine, this is a leading healthcare system with 5 nationally ranked hospitals, including 2 world-renowned academic medical centers. In Boston, where biotech innovates daily, and our doctors teach at Harvard Medical School, and the physicians doing the world-changing research are the ones providing care. There's only one Mass General Brigham.
Tucker Carlson tonight.
It'll be a different day, but our position on the world will remain unchanged.
Don't miss a minute. Weeknights on Fox News Channel.
Allergens, viruses, bacteria. Dangers to your breathing. Get My Pure Mist Ultra Pure Steam Inhaler. Boom, it's on. Germs destroyed, droplets and allergens terminated in their tracks. Pure effective steam making your sinuses happy. Whoa, breathing again. More than 1,000 5 stars on Amazon, so approved by you. My Pure Mist, the best thing to happen to breathing, period. And yeah, all the best retailers have it. Do it.
Attention, all women diagnosed with ovarian cancer. If you or someone you love was diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using baby powder or talcum powder products in the years prior to your diagnosis, you may qualify for financial compensation. Call Liberty Legal to determine your eligibility now. A major manufacturer of baby and talcum powder products has been found liable for $4.7 billion in damages because they knowingly sold products containing cancer-causing asbestos. At trial, internal company documents showed the manufacturer kept the knowledge of those tainted carcinogenic products secret from regulators and the public. If you or a loved one developed ovarian cancer after using baby powder or talcum powder products, call now to see if you qualify for financial compensation. There may be time deadlines, so don't wait. It costs you nothing if you don't win.
Call 800-558-5914. That's 800-558-5914.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
You're as cuddly. Move over, Mr. Grinch. Porch pirates want to ruin your Christmas now.
And they're doing a good job. More than 260 million packages have been reportedly stolen from porches all across the country in the last year. 260 million, with that number only expected to rise this holiday season.
Guess who's here? Kurt the Cyber Guy, here with his top tips on keeping your gifts safe.
Brian, good morning. Ainsley, good to see you. Merry Christmas, Steve.
This is still a big problem.
This is, the Grinch is out there. This is the real-life Grinch, and the trend of this is just devastating. This is as big a problem as we've ever seen. Even a guy I just talked with in California, in Rialto, California. Within minutes of boxes being delivered, his father ordered 3 Movado. They watch this guy come up, drive away. There it is. There's a guy. That is Al Diaz's porch.
Wrong.
And out he goes. And so some tips here. How do you keep that from happening?
Yes.
Which is what I want to know. So,
you know, and the thing is, Kurt, the reason the Amazon guy does not stay and knock on the door is because they've got so many places to deliver. They just, if you're lucky, they'll ring the bell.
especially
Otherwise,
this
they
time
just
of year.
drop it.
It's this time of year. They're in a hurry. They're like, boop, see ya. So, number one, video doorbells. Controversial. Some people say they work. Some people say they don't work. But at least you have the evidence that the box actually was stolen, right? So video doorbells, one thing that can deter people, at least give you the evidence, especially if you're insured and you're held responsible for that delivery. And then also, I mean, an amazing thing here is just pick a delivery date when you're shopping. Did you realize that? Oftentimes you can choose a date that it comes to your house and sign up for those notifications so that in that real time, as soon as a box is put on your porch, it says, oh, you've just got a delivery from such and such.
It's out front.
Boom. And you know to get it before someone else does. Third thing here is, you know, just get off of technology for a second and say hello to your delivery drivers.
Sure.
Most of them are the same. Of course, they're add-on people during the holidays, but having that relationship tells them that you live there, you're human, and they start looking out for you. It's paid off for me. Honestly, it's worth doing that. And of course, this time of year, we do like an Amazon card for $25 or whatever.
To the Amazon guy?
Not Amazon guy, but, you know, UPS, FedEx,
Gotcha.
the people that are normally coming by. The Amazon people change all the time. I have no idea who they are. And then, right, I wish I did. And then, you know, something that I think you do, so you can use Amazon lockers. That's a way to, when you're checking out on Amazon, you could go to, choose a location that's near you that then it secures your stuff. Then you go to that location.
Like a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven or a Whole Foods, or they're all over the place. And then you go in. And then there's this other thing, which is cool. And you got to be brave to this. I'm not willing to do this. So it's called Amazon Key. You allow them the access to your garage.
Right, exactly.
And they put the packages inside. They shut the garage, hopefully. Right. You do it. Have they ever not shut the garage?
No, never. Because apparently on their app, they have one button that will open the garage door one time. And then as soon as they're out, they push it again and it closes. And we've never had any problems. And rather than get stolen, it's in the garage.
All right, that's brave. I'm not yet there. I don't want someone in my house I just don't want these strangers in my garage. There's so much crap in the garage.
Anytime you see a guy running from a porch with a box, tackle him.
Is that the answer? Is that the answer? I would say nothing I'm ordering is worth that.
I would say that when you see a guy running from the house, at least do something.
Right. Even this guy. So Al Diaz, that we just showed you the video of getting his gift stolen.
Right.
You can sign on to these apps like Neighbor and all this that keep an eye on your neighborhood and people talk, because believe me, if your neighbors are experiencing suddenly this, you've never had this in your neighborhood, and suddenly your neighbors are saying, hey, we just lost this, watch out. It's a good idea. If you go to foxnews.com/tech, you'll see more tips on this as well as more tech stories, and you can always sign up for my newsletter at cyberguy.com.
And cyberguy.com is where I saw the Porch Pirate story, so thank you very much.
You did.
Thank you,
You're
Kurt.
a good man.
All right.
Good to see you guys. Merry
Good to have you on the couch.
People used to be afraid to steal the mail, but we're not afraid to steal the box.
Well, that is a...
Well, now they don't care. They don't care if your mail's stolen and you have checks missing. We've reported it to people that, like the bank, they just don't care. Like, yeah, it's not worth our investigation.
Get a new check.
There you go.
That's because you live in California.
It's the first time I've seen a guest with locking his knees.
Without? Oh, sorry. Should I be more formal?
No, I thought it was great.
You're formal.
Knees locked.
Well, I'm just comfortable with you guys.
It's very true. 25 minutes now after the hour. The suspect in the 1988 Lockerbie bombing is expected to face charges in a D.C. courtroom today. We're going to hear from the sister of one of the 35 Syracuse University students killed in the attack.
Hi, I'm Susan. I've lost 84 pounds on Golo, and I've kept it off for a year. I'd spent so much money on other products, and when I saw the commercial for Golo, the price was so much cheaper, and I thought, boy, this might not work, but why not try it? It is amazing, and it works really well.
When your cat's hungry, you definitely know. When he wants your attention, he makes it clear. When he wants to be left alone, he makes it obvious. But if your cat has OA pain, also known as osteoarthritis pain, he may be saying ow in different ways. It's a long-lasting condition that makes it painful for your cat to move like they once did, like when walking or climbing. Red flags are everywhere, but cats are really good at hiding their pain, so you just need to know what to look for. Visit catredflags.com to learn about the signs of OA pain and how your vet can help.
Oh no, you hate coming home to a dark house, and you're uptight about noises outside in the night. Outdoor lighting systems cost a fortune, and leaving lights on all night drives utility bills out of sight. You need the Bell & Howell Bionic Spotlight, the outdoor motion sensor light that is motion activated, so it automatically turns on the instant motion is detected and turns off when the motion stops. Bionic Spotlight is solar powered, so there's no expensive wiring or batteries to change. Simply place it where the solar panel can soak up the sun, and you're done. The The panel collects the sun's energy to charge all day, so it has the power to provide light when and where you need it all night. Bionic Spotlight looks just like a professional security camera that is actually a high-tech security light with smart motion sensing technology. Look, the instant the motion sensor detects movement, Bionic Spotlight triggers 8 high-intensity LED lights that shower the entire area with light, covering over 600 square feet. The light stays on for as long as the motion continues, and then shuts off 30 seconds after it stops, so there's no more arriving home to a dark house. Illuminate walkways and stairwells for visitors and guests. Light up your garden at night, or the yard for kids and pets. Add Bionic Spotlight to your sports court, and to help secure outbuildings and storage sheds. So you can spend hundreds of dollars on an outdoor lighting system, or you can save hundreds of dollars and get the motion-activated Bionic Spotlight for just $19.95 with free shipping. Bionic Spotlight is year-round outdoor durable and weather-resistant, and backed by our 5-year warranty. And if it fails for any reason, return it for a full refund. But wait, if you order right now, you can double the offer and get a second Bionic Spotlight. Just pay a separate fee. You get it all. 2 Bionic Spotlights backed by our 5-year warranty for one low-value price. And the shipping is free. And when you call, ask about the contractor's discount on the complete 6-light home value set. Bionic Spotlight is all you need. It's guaranteed. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-921-5791. That's 1-800-921-5791. Or order online at bionicspotlight.com.
I'm a mom of 2. During the pandemic and my pregnancy, technology and telemedicine were vital to keeping us connected with our doctors. And now we rely on the internet to order the things my family needs. I wish Congress would focus on bringing down the cost of gas and groceries, instead of going after the tech innovators that support our economy. Undermining American technology could hurt families like mine. Congress should fight inflation and leave our technology alone.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland on December 21st, 1988, and killed 270 people, including 190 Americans bound for JFK here in New York. The suspected bomb maker is expected to face charges in a Washington, D.C. area courtroom later today. One of the Pan Am 103 passengers was Rick Manetti, a Syracuse University student who was on his way home for Christmas after a semester abroad. His sister, Kara Weeps, has fought for justice for the families for years. She is the president of the victims of Pan Am Flight 103 and joins us right now from Arizona. Kara, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
I didn't think this day was ever going to come, and I'm sure you didn't think so either.
True, yes. It's been a long time coming, and it's pretty remarkable that this is where we're at today.
Explain how, we knew that there were these people, and they were, for the most part, in Libya. Do we have the Washington Post is suggesting that apparently, last month, Libya media is reporting that apparently this guy was kidnapped from his house in Libya, apparently. Next thing you know, he's here in Washington, D.C. It's good to know that the federal government never forgot about the case of all those people who died that day.
The federal government has never forgotten, and they have always assured us that they have known exactly where he was and everything, and his safety, and been able to assured us that they have been able to know his whereabouts. So the fact that I can't comment, and I don't know anything about the reporting over the last month. None of it's been confirmed. So I'm one of those. I don't believe anything unless I hear it from our government, and I haven't heard it from our government. So right. I'm going to take those as unsubstantiated reports. But as for our government, it proves that over 3 decades they haven't stopped. They have constantly kept this case open. The investigators have kept investigating the FBI agents. The prosecutors have kept looking for evidence and working a case at the Justice Department, and the families haven't stopped. We have kept this in the forefront of 6 administrations. And yesterday he was brought into U.S. custody, another person responsible for the murder of our loved ones.
Absolutely. So he's going to be in a courtroom in the Washington, D.C. area today. Presumably there will be a trial in the next year or so. Would you or any of the other members of the families want to be in the trial? Do you want to show up every day and hear what happened?
Yes. I know there will be family members there today. And yes, I know that there are family members, including myself, who plan to be there for this trial, either in person or virtually. But yes, we want to hear the evidence. I think that's paramount in this. One of the things that I think all family members can agree on and can say without a doubt is that one of the goals that we've all had is to seek the truth and hold those who are responsible accountable. And I think this takes us a step closer to doing that. Again, this is just one more person who's responsible.
Absolutely. And it looks like it led right to Muammar Gaddafi himself, the guy who ran Libya. You're finally getting justice for your brother, Rick. You know, I know over the last couple of days, they've been talking about numbers, 270 people died, but it's, you know, those are just numbers. We want to know the people. Tell us a little bit about your brother, Rick.
You know what? He was, you know, a normal 20-year-old college kid. He had a great group of friends. He was a great friend. He loved life, and he appreciated everything that was afforded to him. He loved his family, his friends. He loved trying new things. He loved to challenge himself. He had an interesting perspective on the world. He had an interesting perspective on himself. He was able to admit what he needed to improve on. He was able to admit what he was good at. He made people around him feel better and be better, whether it be a smile, a kind word. When you left him, you just always felt better about yourself. And I think that everyone gravitated towards him. He wasn't necessarily the most, you know, outgoing person or the life of the party, but people always wanted to be around him. And he just had this way about him. As a big brother, he was a great support. He could be my biggest critic, but my biggest supporter, and also, you know, a big pain in the butt sometimes. we did fight at times, but I think that's normal. Yeah. But it was a fun childhood while we had him.
Indeed. Kara, thank you very much for remembering your brother, who finally is getting justice after coming up on 34 years. Thank you very much for telling us your story, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. All right. 25 minutes now before the top of the hour. Coming up, Bernie Sanders speaking out after Kristen Sinema drops out of the Democratic Party and turning independent. So will he support her newfound independence? Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, joins us live. Coming up next.
After years of chasing the big Idaho potato truck, I finally caught it.
Check out the battery-powered AK homeowner system with sets starting at $199.99. Find something for everyone on your list. Find yours at SteelDealers.com.
Some of the best traditions start under a tree. It's where we gather as a family. It's where we experience the excitement of opening day. It's where we caught our personal best. And this tree is where it all began. This Christmas, start traditions under your tree. Shop now for special savings on gifts for the whole family, in-store and online. Bass Pro Shops, celebrating 50 years of Christmas memories under your tree.
My face was like the elephant in the room.
I had it for so long, makeup would never cover it up.
This is melasma. I'm trying to get rid of it. I've tried everything.
Stop suffering from melasma with Muesli Face RX. Prescription skincare delivered straight to your door.
For me, it was my last resort. I had almost given up.
I actually saw results within the week.
Now that Muesli is out there, People aren't thinking about my melasma anymore. They just see a competent young woman.
See for yourself at muesli.com/TV.
I love the Beauty Pod. My skin's beautiful, my eyes are brighter, my hair's got so much thicker.
I feel better. I feel a lot better. My skin looks better, my hair looks better. I just have a lot more energy.
We took the 8 under-consumed minerals and vitamins and the flavonoids and sealed them into a pod. Skin beauty is improved, cognition is improved.
It's like that person that says, hey, what are you doing? What have you done? You had to have something done or whatever. I just feel good, and I feel good from the inside out. The whites of my eyes seem brighter, my eyes seem bluer. And that's really what the Beauty Pod, I think, has done for me. I try to limit myself to one, but they taste so good.
Just pop in, twist, then shake it to make it. Visit VitapodWorld.com now to get 40% off our Universal Go Top, Pro Steel Bottle, and the Beauty Pouch, which makes 30 delicious drinks. Visit VitapodWorld.com now to start seeing visible results.
Hiring can be extremely time-consuming. I couldn't keep up until I found ZipRecruiter.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate in the first day.
ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Fox.
At AmericanEagle.com, businesses come to us with complex website and digital needs. Regardless of industry, an online presence can have a massive impact on your business's success. When a client comes to us with a complicated issue, it's a big deal to them. From reducing technical debt to being found online or navigating an ambitious website project, what matters most to them is finding a digital partner who gets it and owns it. At AmericanEagle.com, these are issues we solve for all the time. I'm Tim Elanius, Vice President of Digital Strategy at AmericanEagle.com. Whether it's building a complex website, integrating multiple systems, or improving digital marketing, our experts harness decades of experience to produce results that matter not only to our customers, but to our customers' customers. If your business is ready to transform its online presence, you need AmericanEagle.com. Let us put our proven track record to work for you. And the team at AmericanEagle.com is here for you.
Would you support a Democratic opponent against Senator Sinema?
I support progressive candidates all over this country, people who have the guts to take on powerful special interests. I don't know what's going to be happening in Arizona. We'll see who they nominate, but certainly that's something I will take a hard look at. She is a corporate Democrat who has, in fact, along with Senator Manchin, sabotaged enormously important legislation.
Right. To get rid of the filibuster and pack the court. Far left Senator Bernie Sanders ripping into new fellow independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema following her move to formally leave the Democratic Party late last week.
Here to react, Fox News contributor and author of Defeating Big Government Socialism, Newt Gingrich. Good morning to you, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your reaction? Because he's an independent.
Well, look, I think Bernie's being authentic. He is a big government socialist. He actually believes in giant government, and she clearly doesn't. I think she knew that he would probably oppose her even if she stayed in the Democratic Party, because both she and now Manchin's in a different place. West Virginia is now so Republican that you couldn't run against Manchin from the left. But Arizona has a large, vibrant left-wing community, and they have a Democratic congressman who wanted to run against her anyway. So I think it's legitimate. Look, she is the closest thing the Democrats have to a moderate, which makes her fairly liberal. But compared to Bernie Sanders, they're on different planets. And I think he wants a party that is entirely committed to wokeism and to big government socialism. So he's going to fight for it. Yeah, that's his right.
And like they say that she votes for with President Biden a lot, but there's a lot of votes that don't even come up because she's not going to support him. So it's almost deceptive. But Newt, here's the thing. I did not know this. They don't run anyone against independent Angus King, independent Bernie Sanders. If they run someone against Kyrsten Sinema and the Democratic vote is divided, the Republicans going to have a walk to getting that Senate seat. So they have to do this tactically. They got to think this out.
Well, and unless remember, in a three-way race, you could theoretically win with 34%. And the question would be, Sinema is actually more popular with Republicans than she is with Democrats.
So her calculus in part may be that if she could put together the handful of Democrats, a handful of Republicans, and the independents, that would give her 35 or 40% in a three-way race. You know, I just don't know. I think, you know, but I think clearly I think there will be a Democrat. I think there'll be a three-way race, and I think you're right. If we nominate a Republican who is able to mobilize the Republican Party, probably they have a shot at winning that seat.
But you know that Bernie and other Democrats are steamed that not everybody on their side was all together. You know, to them it's a math problem. They need to have 50, now 51 votes on everything, and if somebody strays, it's like, hey, what are you doing? You're just a number, not a name.
Well, but it's really hard to understand what independent means. As you pointed out, Angus King has supposedly been an independent for years, although he did start out as a Democrat. Bernie Sanders is a genuine socialist, but in the Democratic Party, he's treated as a Democrat. You know, Manchin ought to be an independent, but he stays with the Democratic Party. If she caucuses with them, I don't know what becoming an independent means. And if both she and Manchin were to decide not to side with them, they'd be in a very different situation. It'd be much harder for them to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're an independent doesn't mean that you're a socialist. You could be more of a moderate, and it appears that maybe she is. But Bernie Sanders obviously is the other extreme, and he's a socialist. You wrote the book, Defeating Big Government Socialism. How do you do that?
Well, I think, frankly, what Kevin McCarthy's been doing, recruiting minorities, recruiting women, recruiting veterans, creating a commitment to America that's an alternative. You don't just beat people by being negative. You can't just be the anti-party. And if they're going to beat Biden in 2024, they're going to have a positive platform with a positive set of solutions. People are hurting. People want to know, what are you going to do to make my life better? And what are you going to do to make America safer? Don't just tell me the other guy's bad. And I think the Senate in particular has failed miserably at that, where McCarthy was gradually gaining seats in both 20 and 22. The Senate has not gained any seats in 3 consecutive elections.
All right, Newt, thank you very much for joining us live on Fox and Friends.
Thanks.
All right, have a good week.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Carly Shimkus, tell us what's happening.
I certainly will. Got a wild crime story here, guys. A young Bentley driver was stabbed multiple times by a group of attempted thieves in Queens. The 20-year-old victim says he was getting out of his luxury car when 3 men walked up and began stabbing him in the upper body and arm. They tried to remove his jacket, which reportedly had, get this, $41,000 inside of it. The victim told cops the money was from a family member for his college tuition. Eventually, the suspects gave up and fled in their white Cadillac. The victim, thankfully, expected to be okay. The mayor of Los Angeles will declare a state of emergency on homelessness later this morning. Karen Bass was sworn into office yesterday, and her first action as mayor will be to officially declare a homeless crisis in L.A. Mayor Bass says there are more than 40,000 homeless residents in the city. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg took 18 private flights using taxpayer money since taking office, despite his calls to curb fossil fuel emissions. Fox News Digital reports Buttigieg has privately flown to Florida, Nevada, Ohio, and New Hampshire on the taxpayer dime. And in September, he even used a private jet to fly to Montreal. No word yet on how much Buttigieg spent on those flights or how much fuel was burned. That's always the question. Those are your headlines, guys. Back downstairs to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Let's check in with our meteorologist, Adam Klotz, for our Fox weather forecast. Hey, Adam, are we going to get some snow?
Yeah, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Yeah, snow is on the way. That is the answer to that question. We saw a little bit of snow in New England over the last 12 hours or so, kind of winding down at this point, but that is just round one of what is going to be a huge storm that sweeps the entire country. Currently, snow moving across the west, and that is going to continue to work its way east. We've got winter weather advisory stretching all the way up into the northern plains, which does include a blizzard warning. So a major winter storm is making that move. That's the low pressure system that's going to sweep across the country. If you live in the southeast, it's going to be at times maybe some severe weather, very heavy rain. But the northern path of the country, a lot of snow is on the way. All lower 48 states are going to see some sort of rain or sleet or snow as this system moves from coast to coast over the course of the week. This is the one I want to leave you with because, boy, all of those purples, the snow will be measured in feet, not inches, maybe as much as 3 or 4 feet in some of those locations. So a big winter system is on the way. Of course, we will be tracking it all week long, and you can download the Fox Weather app to follow along with it also. Those are your weather headlines for now. Tossing it back inside to you guys.
All right, Adam, thank you very much. We're heading out there right now because straight ahead, gifts for the fit. Skip Bedell has top picks for fitness enthusiasts in your life.
What's in that thermos?
One of those and one of those. We're coming right out.
Where can you save time shopping and spend quality time at the same time? Lowe's, actually. This holiday season, experience the magic of Winterfest.
My name is Vincent, and I've been in the field of nutrition and dietetics for 30 years. And what I realized as a nutritionist, I was trying to get all my fruits and vegetables in, but I would be so preoccupied with trying to do things, I would forget to eat. So all of a sudden, it's the end of the day, and I haven't had my fruits and vegetables. I think a lot of people are in that situation. I found Balance of Nature, and I looked at the ingredients, and I thought, this is exactly what I need. And so after trying it for about a week, I'm not a morning person, but I started getting up early, and I started feeling better because I had more energy. I think, of course, as a nutritionist, it's best to get all you can from your diet, but it wasn't until I started taking Balance of Nature that I started noticing a difference. So that's when I thought, okay, there's something about Balance of Nature that I need to tell the world about. So here I am.
As a special holiday offer, get $25 off plus a free fiber and spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code Fox News.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. With a holiday offer, I think that you're going to like. When you switch to Mint now, you'll get 3 months of premium wireless free on any plan, even unlimited. Yes, you can't resist savings.
That everyone?
Except quirky Aunt Beatrice.
Yeah, I've been thinking the Safa Classic because she's a combination sleeper.
And she's hot. I mean, she sleeps hot.
So a cooler mattress. The Lumen Leaf has ultra premium 5-pound memory foam and sleeps cool with no inner springs. And Safa white glove delivery means you're not wrapping it.
But I'm getting good at this.
Emily, Harris, and Kaylee. They're taking on the hot topics with powerful perspective and smart insight you'll only get on Outnumbered, weekdays at 12 on Fox News Channel.
Do you want hearing aids from a brand you can trust that aren't too expensive? Then charge up your hearing with the MD Hearing Volt. The Volt is a doctor-designed, FDA-registered digital hearing aid that uses state-of-the-art sound technology. Now, for a limited time, you can get not 1, but 2 Volt hearing aids for only $299. Try them risk-free for 45 days. The Volt comes with a money-back guarantee, free lifetime audiologist support, and free shipping. This is a medical-grade digital hearing aid, not an amplifier. The rechargeable Volt gives you crystal clear hearing at a fraction of the cost. Stop missing out on better hearing today. Call and get 2 Volt hearing aids for an amazing $299. A 45-day money-back guarantee, free lifetime audiologist support, and free shipping. This offer will not last, so call now.
Call 800-848-1243. Again, that's 800-848-1243.
I've always wanted to play piano.
Now that I have time, I'm using the Simply Piano app.
And I can play the songs I love whenever I want. Simply Piano. Find it now on the App Store and Google Play.
This is Fubo TV. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. Watch multiple games at once with Multiview. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Fox Nation's once-a-year sale with 50% off all yearly plans for a limited time.
When I read what it took for Yellowstone to be here so that we could all enjoy it, I realized that this was a story that I suddenly wanted to share.
I say when I'm done, not them.
They had unboundless, unlimited optimism.
We fixing to get filthy, stinking rich, boys.
Fox Nation, they give you the power. Our team embedded with Kid Rock.
There's only one thing in my life now that really matters.
Sign up and start streaming today.
No
someone looking to get fit this Christmas? Well, we have some gifts for you.
That's right. Here with his top picks for the fitness enthusiasts and outdoor adventurers in your life, home contractor Skip Bedell and his wife Allison. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ready. Listen, if you want to give great gifts to the fitness and health enthusiasts, you can't beat Bowflex for the home gym. So this is their Select Tech dumbbells. Unbelievable. You just adjust the weights from 10 to 90 pounds.
See, so I was shocked by this, how easy that is to dial that up.
Yeah, you just dial it up. And by the way,
can you see the top here?
So all you got to do is dial what you want, 10 to 90 pounds. So you have a full gym worth of dumbbell racks in just this small little footprint, which is great for space saving. Even a kettlebell. A kettlebell adjusts from 8 to 40 pounds. So if you want to do kettlebell exercises,
that's great.
Any fitness enthusiast is going to absolutely love this. It's like having a full gym in your house.
You could not get these during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, you can get them now. Absolutely. So, by the way, the Journey app. You want to check out the app? They have a Journey app. It's a fitness trainer, so they'll give you one-on-one fitness training right on the app. And right now, 1-year free membership for the Journey app. And so you hook up the Journey app with the weights.
Great for New York City apartments.
I love this, guys. It's such a small footprint.
We have them in our house.
They're fantastic,
and
right?
they take the place of 17.
It's amazing. It looks like it's a lot.
Right.
All right. They are unbelievable, guys. This stuff right here, I have to tell you, this has changed my life. I love Vitapod. It's so cool because they're really convenient, kind of like a Keurig coffee bag, right?
K-cup.
Only what this is a cold vitamin drink with all natural ingredients. So for the health fanatic person, they're going to love this. They can put it in the new shaker top bottle. You simply drop the pod in here.
So you don't need the machine.
You don't. So the machine's great to keep at home because it chills and it filters the water. But if you want to take a bag and keep it in the office, one in your car, wherever, you can put water in this, just simply shake it up, you drink it right through the cap.
I see everybody using that now.
It's unbelievable. So the energy pods are fantastic because everything is all natural. There's nothing artificial.
We have this at home. We have the black machine at home. I have one of these every morning, the Beauty Pod.
Oh, the Beauty Pods.
It's got collagen in it, and I sincerely notice a difference in the fine lines. Really? And also the cellulite. Nice. Which we don't have.
I am not commenting on that, but energy pods are amazing. Listen, guys, I love coffee. I used to have 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning before I leave for work. Yeah. I have an energy pod. It's all healthy, no bad ingredients, just as much energy as coffee, and also like immunity, right? So keeping our immune system boosted up in the wintertime. So right now, if you go to their VitapodWorld.com website, you can get 50% off for Fox viewers on the machine.
Okay, lightning round, 1 minute, 2 items.
Garmin. Tell us about the Garmin
dash
camera.
cam. This connects to Wi-Fi. It's got a 140-degree field view, and you can monitor what's going on around your car from your phone.
So a security camera to have in your car, also has a dash cam, gives you a wide view, reports notifications to your phone.
Watches. This one's solar. These do everything that the smartwatch does. It has the programs for the health and the fitness, for the GPS.
Yeah. You have an app so you can get your heart rate, your blood oxygen level. I can check my steps.
And then
GPS.
But it's solar. That's crazy.
Yeah, so solar power, so it charges by the sun.
Stop talking.
Yeah, how dare you? We're getting cut off.
Bose Flex. The Bose Flex, it floats in water and it still works. You can drop it in the sand. It still works. This is meant for the out.
Well, and you can drop it. And it's durable.
It really is durable. It's for the outdoorsman, actually. That's how they designed it.
We have 2 of those at our house, and they pair, so
I have a question on the camera.
The sound is amazing, right?
What is the camera for? Security?
Yeah,
it records while you're driving.
Yeah, dash cam, so you can keep that for security reasons if you have an accident or whatever. But also, when you leave your car, it monitors the motion around your car.
It has motion
And if someone approaches your car, it'll send you a notification. Yeah. So it's a great security camera for your car, and you see it's got a really nice screen on the back of it.
Everybody's trying to scratch his car. He's had big complaints.
Exactly. Brian needs this because he's getting keyed in the neighborhood.
It's New York, yes.
Well, great.
Thank you, Skip.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Links to everything.
SkipBedell.com's got a link to all the stuff.
And he's wearing layers, that's why he's not cold.
I have lots of layers. And my Santa hat.
And he bought her this dress from Walmart.
That's so nice. 20% off. I'm sure we shouldn't have said that.
Buy all clothes at Walmart.
A woke mayor defeated after a judge rules the Christopher Columbus statue can stand. Take the box off. Christopher Columbus is free. Tell the Nina and Pinta and Santa Maria. When you get a chip in your windshield,
Trust Safelight. This couple was headed to the farmer's market. When they got a chip, they drove to Safelight for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them. That's service the way you need it.
Safelight Repair, Safelight Replace.
There's always a fresh deal on the Subway app, like this one. 50% off? That deal's so good, we don't even need an 8-time All-Star to tell you about it.
Wait, what?
Get it before it's gone on the Subway app.
When you're a small business owner, there's no such thing as 9 to 5. Days are longer, and business hours, well, they're anything but predictable, especially when you have clients like ours. When I considered payroll providers for my business, I looked for a solution that fit into my busy schedule. Sure Payroll makes running payroll easy, and its US-based customer service is there for me when I have questions, after hours, and even Saturdays.
Visit surepayroll.com for a 3-month free trial, because small business is our business.
I love the beauty pod. My skin's beautiful, my eyes are brighter, my hair's got so much thicker.
I feel better. I feel a lot better. My skin looks better. My hair looks better. I just have a lot more energy.
We took the 8 under-consumed minerals and vitamins and the flavonoids and sealed them into a pod. Skin beauty is improved, cognition is improved.
It's like that person that says, hey, what are you doing? What have you done? You had to have something done or whatever. No, I just feel good, and I feel good from the inside out. The whites of my eyes seem brighter, my eyes seem bluer. It just is. And that's really what the beauty pod, I think, has done for me. I try to limit myself to one, but they taste so good.
Just pop in, twist, then shake it to make it. Visit VitapodWorld.com now to get 40% off our Universal Go Top Pro Steel Bottle and the Beauty Pouch, which makes 30 delicious drinks. Visit VitapodWorld.com now to start seeing visible results.
Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. As we celebrate Christmas, you may wonder if Jesus Christ can make a difference in your life. You bet he can. That's why he came, to save us from our sins. Jesus was born to die. He came to earth as a babe, took our sins to the cross 33 years later. He died on the cross, and God raised him to life. On the 3rd day, he's not dead, he's alive. If you've never put your faith and trust in him, you can do that right now. Just pray this prayer with me. Just say, Dear God, I've made a wreck of my life. I'm sorry for my sins, and I ask you to forgive me. I believe that Jesus Christ is your Son. I want to trust him as my Savior and follow him as my Lord from this day forward. Amen. If you prayed that prayer, call that number that's on the screen. We've got someone who'd like to speak with you right now. Give them a call. God bless you, and a Merry Christmas to each and every one.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Revealing meetings between the tech giant, the FBI, DHS, and the Director of National Intelligence, forcing top Biden administration officials into damage control mode.
We aren't directing social media companies on how to manage their content.
The man accused of making the bomb that killed 270 people over Lockerbie, Scotland, set to appear in court.
Pan Am Flight 103 blew up back in 1988, killing all on board.
Libya has turned this person over. We should get as much information from him as possible.
The border crisis completely out of control. More than 1,500 migrants crossing into El Paso, Texas last night.
Title 42 set to expire in just 11 days. Border states are bracing for massive numbers.
Winter weather on both coasts. Very heavy snow in California. This is going to be one that's going to sweep the entire country. A major snowstorm over the next couple of days.
To the opposite side.
Mahomes, he'll just chuck it ahead, and it's caught. McKinnon has the next year touchdown.
Yeah, I'm sending you a Merry New York Christmas.
That is, I'm sure if you guys are wearing your 3D glasses at home, you could see that that is a fireplace that we have pretended to build out on a veranda.
I don't think you need 3D glasses to see them.
Oh, you don't? I should take mine off then.
Okay.
I'll do it. And look at those presents. I actually wanted a big square and one rectangle. So that's exactly what I wanted.
I've been asking for a pony for like 50 years.
Hard to wrap.
It is hard to wrap. I don't see it there.
And it looks like you've got a sign that tells you how many days until Santa comes.
That is true. A lot of people used to have an advent calendar for that, right?
That's right. Yep. My daughter does, and she tries to open 2 every day.
Because
wants
it's
more chocolate.
Right.
My daughter Mary's got an advent calendar for her dog.
Oh, how cute.
It is
adorable. It has like biscuits inside?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really
little squeeze toys and stuff like that.
But it is kind of sad in a way. In order to mark the day of Christmas, you need an incentive. Like an incentive is like, listen, I want you to track. I don't want to track. What if I told you there's chocolate inside? Oh, then I'll do it. Like, what is with America?
But Brian,
we should just do things for the season.
It wasn't just started by America, but it is to build anticipation for the day that Jesus was born.
Exactly.
Right.
So put something with nougat in it.
And then they added a Santa Claus.
Right.
Then the kids focused on that instead of the meaning of the season, the real reason.
I know.
Okay, 2 more sets of Twitter files were released over the weekend.
Here we go. We're up to 4 now. Top administration officials in damage control mode after the files revealed weekly meetings between Twitter higher-ups and government agencies, including that place called the FBI.
Alexandria Hoff is live in Washington to tell us more, and she's got a tweet from Elon from 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it's been 10 days since these Twitter files started to drop. Overall, they seem to prove that the personal political bias of Twitter executives and staff led to lopsided policy enforcement. But it went from personal to federal this past Friday when writer Matt Taibbi revealed that executives appeared to be holding regular meetings with the FBI, DHS, and DNI. Taibbi shared this, quote, after January 6th, internal Slack showed Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies. He then goes on to describe the screenshot attached, which shows Yoel Roth, Twitter's head of trust and safety, noting to a colleague that he's had to come up with some covers for who he's meeting with. An anonymous staffer replies, quote, very boring business meeting that is definitely not about Trump, wink face. Roth says, pretty much, then, quote, definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. Well, the joke there is obvious. Yesterday on Fox News Sunday, the White House's John Kirby said that they have nothing to do with Twitter's decision-making.
We aren't directing private social media companies on how to manage their content. These are decisions that they have to make as appropriate. Now, look, we obviously don't want to see, the public square polluted with hate speech and disinformation. That's not a good use of the information environment for the American people. But it's up to these social media companies to determine how they're going to manage their content, how they are going to deliver that content to their users.
Well, speaking of users and user experience, today CEO Elon Musk is relaunching Twitter Blue. It had a rocky start last month and was pulled quickly. Now, the ability to purchase a blue checkmark returns for a monthly fee. This time, phone number verification is going to be required. And if you've been on Twitter, you'll see that Musk has not been holding back on the platform he purchased. This morning, just a short time ago, writing, the woke mind virus is either defeated or nothing else matters. And he may soon have some more room to share his thoughts, as Musk says he's working to increase the character count allowed from 280 to 4,000. Steve, Ainsley, Brian.
That's going to be gigantic.
Yeah.
4,000.
The thing about, I thought the great thing about Twitter was the brevity.
Right.
I mean, we've lost that.
He's just talking about that, or he definitely wants to do that?
Who's going to say goodbye to Alexandria?
She's going to answer the question.
Well, all I know is 4,000 that's a character count. That reminds me of college days. You know, it's usually an assignment. That's a lot for me. I don't know.
It's like a paper.
I don't read my whole
summarizing's
text
been the fun
messages.
part.
Yeah, that's right. Alexandria, thank you very much.
Sure.
But just a quick thing on what he just tweeted, he's 100% right. I think more and more people are shaking it off. That taking the box off the Columbus Day statue, the latest example. When Bob Iger takes over in Disney, that's another example. The blow up of Jim Crow 2.0, that everybody was so woke, and Delta and Pepsi. Or one of the soft drinks, I shouldn't say.
Coke.
Was it Coke? Yeah. Or Coke, and obviously Major League Baseball. We got to run out. We don't want to look bad. I think we're almost coming out of a coming out of a woke coma.
The pendulum is swinging the other way.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And we wouldn't even know any of this stuff about Twitter had he not bought it, because it was radio silence.
Good thing he's a billionaire.
Yeah, no kidding. And so this latest thing about woke minds probably has to do with the bots. And it looks like he's going to reveal how many of those things on Twitter have been robots. Nonetheless, Stuart Varney appeared with Brian in our first hour today and talked a little bit about how this multi-billionaire is a disruptor in the best way.
Commenting on business news, you cannot ignore Elon Musk. He makes headlines every single day. He loves to be the center of attention. He's a major leagues disruptor. But what you've got here is big government, big media, and Twitter executives all getting together to conspire to deprive voters of political information right before an election. That is a blockbuster.
And when you look at all this stuff, it's very clear that behind the scenes at Twitter, they were trying to figure out what to do before the election. And ultimately, they used warnings from the federal government as the reason why they would clamp down and banish the New York Post story about the Hunter Biden laptop.
And Brian had mentioned the Philadelphia statue. There is news this morning on that Christopher Columbus statue that the mayor is very woke and said that this was 2 years ago, back in 2020, called it a matter of public safety after protests over racial injustice. So he wanted that statue taken down. In the meantime, they covered it with plywood. You can see there green and white and red Italian flag over it. Well, a judge ruled on Friday, said, you've got to take this plywood down. The statue can stay. Her name is Judge Mary Hannah Levitt. And she said, more to the point, the city accepted the donation of the Columbus statue in 1876. It has a fiduciary duty to preserve that statue, which is designated an historic object in 2017. The Columbus statue is not city property, as is, for example, a city snowblower.
So one thing just to interject before we read the mayor's comments, who's not happy. They said one thing that the judge suggested, put a plaque on there. Stuff you're not happy that Columbus did. Get it approved and put it up, but don't take the statue down.
Right, because it belongs to the city.
Which reminds me of kind of what they do now on Twitter. You put an article up. If there's someone who disagrees with it, you can put a link at the bottom, or someone can comment on it.
Have an explainer. So the mayor, back in 2020, the summer when there were all the protests, that's when they suggested, you know what, we got to take it down. They ultimately, rather than take it down or move it, as was the case with many statues, they simply enclosed it. And now the mayor is not happy. He has reminded people, look, Columbus had slaves, and you know, he was troublesome to the indigenous people, and that's why we had to take him down.
But indigenous people back then were enslaving each other. So even in the Caribbean where he landed, that was all these tribes were trying to dominate each other. It was two different civilizations clashing. We used to learn about things, but now we just judge them and box them up. Now I wonder if they're going to bring the Teddy Roosevelt statue back at the Museum of Natural History.
In New York?
The Roosevelts were really responsible for the museum being there. It was Teddy Roosevelt on a horse with a Native American and an African American. He just happened to be on a horse because he's Teddy Roosevelt. And he also was portrayed brilliantly by Robin Williams in Night at the Museum. So he at the Museum of Natural History, and yet they took it down and they sent it to North Dakota.
But I see, in New York, I think that's a city decision, whereas this was challenged, and a judge said, take the box off.
Yeah, so here's what the mayor said.
Yeah, the mayor, the one who wanted it covered up and wanted it taken down, he said, we are very disappointed in the court's ruling. We continue to believe that the Christopher Columbus statue, which has been a source of controversy in Philadelphia, should be removed from its current position. While we respect this decision, we will also continue to explore our options for a way forward that allows Philadelphians to celebrate their heritage and culture while respecting the histories and circumstances of everyone's different backgrounds.
It's nice that they would keep that there because it was historical and declared that back a couple of years ago.
Yes. Stop suing, just leave it, please.
All right, it is coming up on 11 minutes after the top of the hour, and Carly joins us with news from the World Cup.
Yeah, we have a Fox News alert here, guys. A Qatari photographer has died while covering the World Cup. Now, the second journalist to die at the tournament after U.S. soccer writer Grant Wall. Khalid Al-Maslam was a photojournalist for a local sports outlet called Al-Qas. He reportedly died on Saturday. It is not immediately clear what caused his death. Wall, who you're looking at right now, died Friday at the end of a match between the Netherlands and Argentina. Now, he complained of bronchitis the day before his death, but his brother says he believes he was killed. Unbelievable situation there. Tragedy for that family. Brittany Griner is back in the U.S. and back on the basketball court. Her agent says she picked up a basketball for the first time in 10 months and dunked the ball. The Phoenix Mercury putting out a statement saying Griner's strength in this process has her unwavering belief that resolution would come, and the hope she displayed every day is what kept all of us believing this day would come. And in Boston, passengers are stranded on grounded planes as bad weather causes major flight delays. Travelers on multiple Delta flights at Boston Logan International Airport say they've been held on planes for hours before takeoff. Reports claim at least 36 flights have been canceled this morning as some passengers camp out at the airport, claiming there's no available hotel reservations nearby. Delta has not yet commented on this unfolding incident. And art literally imitates life in London after cops raid a gallery there to save an ailing woman who turned out to be a statue. Cops say someone called and claimed a person appeared to be suffering a medical emergency slumped over on a table. Well, that person turned out to be Christina, a very realistic human-like sculpture. Cops broke the hinges off a door to get to Christina, but quickly discovered they were there to accidentally rescue a piece of art. You understand where that person was coming from calling the cops?
Yeah, absolutely. So
credit to the person who made that statue. They did a good job.
The same thing.
But the paramedics were unable to revive that.
Yes, because you can't revive plaster.
You can't.
No, it doesn't have a pulse.
You're right. Thank you, Carly.
You're very welcome.
Coming up, the Libyan man accused in the 1988 bombing of a Pan Am plane set to appear before a U.S. judge today. One of the 270 people on board who died was a friend of our next guest.
Piers Morgan on the justice more than 3 decades in the making.
Over the last 100 years, Lincoln's witnessed a good bit of history. Even made some themselves. Makes you wonder, what'll they do for an encore?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm passing those savings directly onto you. You can get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's best cotton. It's grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. I know my sheets are perfect for you, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee for Christmas until March 1st, 2023, making them the perfect gifts for your friends, your family, and everyone you know. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
My name is Joseph Kraska. My wife and I are parents of 7 children with different disabilities, foster parents for over 30 years. I'm also a boat captain, and I live a very busy life. Balance in nature has become a very integral part of our life. It's helped me to continue to stay active. If ever there was a reason to start thinking about your health, this would be a good way to start.
As a special holiday offer, get $25 off plus a free fiber and spice with your first preferred order. Use discount code Fox News.
Handmade patriotism, delivered to your door, your business, your home, your garage. Nothing says I'm proud to be an American like displaying your values through patriotism. And a handmade flag from Metal Art of Wisconsin sends a clear message. Each flag is handmade with American pride, each one given the white glove treatment. Check out our full line of innovative products at freedomcabinet.com.
Tucker Carlson tonight.
It'll be a different day, but our position on the world will remain unchanged.
Don't miss a minute. Weeknights on Fox News Channel.
High blood pressure is known as the silent killer, and right now it's more dangerous than ever before. But did you know you can lower the risk naturally? Introducing Respirate, the first ever FDA-cleared medical device, clinically proven to lower blood pressure.
The results I got from using Respirate were astounding. The blood pressure this morning was 110/79.
Respirate's patented technology continuously monitors and guides your breathing into the therapeutic zone, causing the muscles surrounding the small blood vessels to relax so blood flows more freely and blood pressure is reduced. Multiple clinical trials report 82% of Respirate users reduced high blood pressure. The trials demonstrated Respirate is so safe and effective that it was cleared to be sold without a prescription. We are so sure that Respirate will work for you, we guarantee it. If you don't lower your blood pressure in 60 days, you'll get your money back.
It's the best investment I've ever made in my life.
To watch a product demonstration or to buy, go to Respirate.com now.
HR shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard to hire the best people, or get them paid, or enable them to work how they want to work. And with Paychecks, it's not. Our integrated HR technology gets you up and running fast, so you can start simplifying and automating everything from recruiting to payroll, benefits to insurance, all while keeping your team connected, productive, and safe. It shouldn't be hard to switch to a better HR solution. And now, it's not. Paychecks makes it simple.
Today, the suspect accused of building the bomb used in the Lockerbie terror attack will appear in court, finally facing justice in the United States for the first time. The 1988 bombing killed 270 victims, including 22-year-old Josephine Hudson, a nurse in England, and a friend of our next guest, Piers Morgan, and he joins us now. Good morning, Piers.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sure you feel a little bit of relief and justice.
Well, I'm sure that Joe's family will do, as I'm sure all the families of all those who died in that appalling atrocity, the worst terror attack we've ever seen on British mainland. Joe was a typical passenger, I guess. She was excited about going to see her family in America. She was going skiing, I think, with her sisters in New England. And I'd seen her the week before because she was working with my wife at the time. And they both worked as nurses at Queen Mary's Hospital in Roehampton in London. And so I saw a lot of Jo, and she was a really fun-loving, great girl who was at the sort of fledgling stage of her life, right. Becoming a nurse, and that was her great dream, her great vocation. And then her life was snuffed away in this appalling attack. And I can remember taking the call from my wife from the hospital where they'd been told, and they were all completely devastated that such a beautiful person had been murdered in such an appalling way. To see now, decades later, the very slow wheels of justice finally beginning to bear proper fruit, I think is probably, to the family, I can't speak for them, but I certainly feel it myself as someone who knew one of the victims, a profound sense of relief and exasperation has taken this long, frankly.
You're absolutely right. And Piers, this whole case has laid bare what international terrorism was. And this happened 10 years, more than 10 years, before 9/11. And ultimately, what we have heard in court testimony, Gaddafi himself, the guy who ran Libya, ordered the hit. And he was never held accountable.
Yeah, I mean, there was no question Gaddafi's fingerprints were all over this. This would never have happened without his order, his say-so. And it was an absolute abomination. And the fact that only one person has been convicted of any offence connected to what was clearly a quite widespread conspiracy is a complete disgrace. It's a failure of the justice system, but it's also, an indication of just how far the Libyans went, not just to perpetrate this atrocity, led by their leader Gaddafi, but also how far they went to then cover it up to make sure that we couldn't have the people responsible made accountable. So, again, I'm relieved that it's come to some form of accountability and that somebody will now face another trial. But there were clearly more than just two of them involved anyway. And the fact it's taken this long, over 30 years, to bring the second one to any form of justice is a scandal.
Right, and we know how unfortunate, too, if you're one of the 11 who died on the ground from the plane exploding in Scotland is unbelievable. Pierce, on another note, you're also a former soccer expert. You know that England was my team after the U.S. was eliminated. How do you feel about Harry Kane, one of the greatest British soccer players ever, kicking it over the top on that penalty kick after already hitting one? For every high school kid who misses a big penalty kick, you should feel a little bit better.
Just to remind you, it's football, not soccer. But we have a saying over here, it's the hope that kills. And it's always the hope that England one day will do what they last did when I was one, which is win a major international trophy. We won the World Cup in 1966. This seemed to be our turn, our chance. The golden generation of players led by this brilliant captain. And we knew if it went to penalties in any form, in ordinary time or in penalty time at the end, we had the guy. Because Kane's record on taking penalties is as good as anybody in the world. And the first penalty he took, he scored magnificently. And that raised our hopes even more. And then he gets another one, and we're thinking, Brian, this is it. It's coming home. Football's coming home. And then he ballooned it about 4,000 feet into the air, and that was the end of our hope.
But can we get into the nuance of it? The goalie was one of his good friends from Tottenham Hotspurs, so he must be thinking, this guy practices with me. We play together 300 games. He knows where I'm going to put it. I got him last time, so he clearly overthought it, right?
You know what we should have done with hindsight? And look, you can always talk with hindsight, but we should have let somebody else take it.
Absolutely.
Because you're right. Hugo Lloris, the French goalkeeper, plays for Tottenham Hotspur, which is Harry Kane's team. They will have taken penalties between each other for 10 years. So the first penalty, Kane outwits his teammate in the club level. He should have then passed the baton to somebody else who Lloris hadn't faced before and tried something different. But look, if he smashed it in the top corner again, we'd all be lauding him as a hero. We'd almost certainly have beaten France. We would have gone on to win the World Cup. And I would have had bragging rights over you for the next 4 years until we come and beat you in your own backyard in the United States in the next World Cup, Brian. But as it is, we are sharing the ignominy of failure and defeat. And
of course,
that really went into it. That really went down the well.
What Piers has described, of course, is what happens in the dream sequence. Check out Piers Morgan Uncensored on Fox Nation weekdays every day at 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Piers, thank you very much.
Thanks, Piers.
Good to talk to you guys. All the
He
best.
looks exactly the same as his picture in real life. It's very rare. Exactly the same. Still ahead. Lawyer up. The message to Twitter founder Jack Dorsey following stunning revelations surrounding his role in censoring posts. Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley with what's on the line now.
Plus, call it a comeback. Tanya Tucker is making her acting debut in A Nashville Country Christmas. The Grammy Award-winning singer is here.
Well, it's a little too late. When you walked in, I should have walked out, but it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Well, the whole
You wake up in the morning and one day this hurts, one day another hurts. Everything hurts. What have I tried in the past? What have I not tried? Nothing works. The pain's still there. You know the thing about this cream? I started putting it on and things started changing from my elbows to my shoulders. If this product worked for me, it can work for you. I mean, I feel energized. I feel like a 40-year-old or a 20-year-old. Thank you, Australian Dream.
It comes every year, then it's gone in a flash. The most joyous of seasons we all hope would last. The twinkling lights gleam, a Christmassy glow. There's a chill in the air and a hinting of snow. Sipping hot chocolate all bundled up tight. Singing carols with loved ones under the stars of night. We invite you to visit a most wondrous park because you'll never forget Christmas time at the Ark.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm you still save $90 a pair. What makes my slippers different is my exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve stress on your feet. Wear them anytime, anywhere. You'll absolutely love my slippers, and I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2023, making them the best Christmas gifts ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen now. Use your promo code to save $90 on my original My Slippers. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
The Real, authenticated luxury resale. Over 10,000 new arrivals every day.
Gucci, Prada, Hermes,
Tiffany,
Cartier,
Rolex, all up to 90% off retail. For you, for them, for all. Love The Real.
Shop now and get 20% off at therealreal.com. Terms apply.
Trilogy for COPD.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know.
If you're tired of staring down your COPD,
It's a new dawn, it's a new day,
stop settling.
and I'm feeling good.
Start a new day with Trilogy. No once-daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trilogy. With 3 medicines in 1 inhaler, Trilogy makes breathing easier for a full 24 hours, improves lung function, and helps prevent future flare-ups. Trilogy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trilogy more than prescribed. Trilogy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Take a stand and start a new day with Trilogy. Ask your doctor about once daily Trilogy and save at Trilogy.com.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
As House Republicans plan to investigate Hunter Biden, the president's son is reportedly meeting with a friend and attorney that like to pay off his tax bills to prepare for what our next guest calls a move to intimidate witnesses. Go on the offense. Here to explain, Fox News contributor, constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley. Jonathan, wait a second. So Hunter Biden knows what's on that laptop, knows that he got away with everything that he did, and now wants to go on the offense?
Well, there's a number of things that were curious about this Washington Post article. One was that it was in the Washington Post. Usually these types of scorched earth campaigns are not publicized. That gets to the second reason. The reason they're not publicized is because they can be viewed as an attempt to intimidate witnesses. They expressly mention people like Bublinsky, who is a major threat to the Biden family. He was brought in as their business manager and has directly contradicted the statements made by President Joe Biden. The article talks about targeting him as well as other witnesses,
including John Paul Mac Isaac, who he dropped the laptop off to, who did the responsible thing by bringing it to the FBI in 2019. It's almost saying, are you serious? You want to get in the octagon without any training? So somebody's getting in his head saying your best defense is a big offense. The White House